Somebody in purple is in front of the camera. Oh, they're doing the national anthem.
Oh.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Pioneer High School, home of the Pioneer Panthers. We're coming to you live on RTC4.com tonight. We have Sectional 42 coverage. It's the championship game. It's the Pioneer Panthers and the Lafayette Central Catholic Knights. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. Steve Stricker here alongside Casey Hines.
Glad to be here. You know, this is going to be an incredible night, incredible atmosphere. Last year we had a 1-point game. You know, we got a great crowd tonight. It's a beautiful evening. I'm looking forward to a great football game here. Should be a lot of fun.
They got the Pioneer Panthers coming in here with 11-0, perfect record on the season, taking on the Lafayette Catholic Knights at 4-7. But Casey, you know as well as anybody, you've played in this rivalry, you've coached in this rivalry, you've announced this rivalry, you've done everything you can in this rivalry, and you can throw the records out the window here tonight. It doesn't matter if you're 11-0 or 0-11. This game's going to be a battle here tonight.
Yeah, don't be deceived by the 4-7 record that CC's bringing in. You know, Pioneer's 11-0, but you know, CC plays a meat grinder of a schedule. You know, they're playing teams like West Lafayette, and they're playing some bigger schools like Twin Lakes, and you know, it's kind of been an interesting year for CC. You know, I think a lot of people were like, man, they're just not winning the games that they usually win. You know, you had a coach resign at the end of the regular season. You got an interim head coach. And, you know, that's always transition. But they're 2-0 under this new interim head coach. They like what he's doing. He's a former guy that helped Kevin O'Shea win a lot of ball games. And so, you know, I think maybe they got a little giddy up in their step right now. And, you know, they're coming in here and they're ready to go. And Pioneer's going to be ready to go. I know Coach Barry's going to have his team ready. They've watched a lot of film and they just study. And they work a lot. They work really hard at this. So, yeah, you got to throw the records out the window. You're gonna be in for a fight tonight. It's gonna be a good one. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I just want to give you a quick story here. My history with the Pioneer football program goes way back my junior year in high school, 1992. Would have been about the second year Coach Johnson was here. They were just kind of getting geared up. They weren't quite the powerhouse football program they are today, but they were sure a good team. And we drew them up at Culver Community for sectional. And I tell you what, the one thing that I always will remember and always respect this team for, when they came in there, the hardest hitting team I ever played.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we played Northern State Conference up there. We played teams like Bremen. We played teams like Jimtown. You know, Bremen had Mr. Football, Bo Hunt, playing for them my junior year. He was a senior. And I tell you what, hardest hitting team, and it's not just 30 yards down the field, pop you. It's right off the line, and they would just really put it to you. And I had a lot of respect for that team ever since then, and I've kind of followed this team. Actually met a few people in college at IU Kokomo. Grant Montgomery, he was a freshman on that team, and he was actually, a funny thing, he was actually in the hospital the day that we played Pioneer because they had him on the scout team. They were playing Bremen the next week, assuming they were going to beat us. He was Bo Hunt, and they put him in the hospital.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
they put their own guy in the hospital.
I was a little young. I mean, I was a part of the 97 15-0 run, and that was a lot of fun. And, Coach Johnson brought a lot of enthusiasm into the program in the early 90s and even on through the 2000s, being here 25, 26 years. And, he won a lot of titles. But this game, I mean, we had to beat him in 97. It's almost a 50-50 career match versus them. I think they got the edge 9-8. But the last, the mid-2000s up through the teens, it was like, man, they just got so many weapons and they're so well coached. And it was a tough battle for Pioneer to come in and run smash mouth football against them, and they just air it out.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight, if I'm looking and I'm, scouting, I've never seen CC play. I've seen Pioneer play quite a bit this year, and it's just a style, two different styles, really.
Yeah.
I mean, Pioneer has done some things with Coach Berry that they didn't necessarily do with Coach Johnson, but they're still using a lot of the same philosophy, blocking, a lot of the same philosophy of down blocks, and a lot of good success because they really work hard on their blocking. And CC's more of a pass team. They've always kind of thrown it around. They've had really good, strong receivers, and they're well coached. And it should be, it's a tale of. It's not just two good teams playing. It's two well coached teams playing tonight.
Yeah, and you mentioned they are under the tutelage now of interim coach Jeff Onken. And he kind of took things back, to the way they were doing things before. And, from what I've been reading up on them, the kids have really taken to it. And you mentioned the regular season schedule. They play, I have it wrote down here somewhere, 5 3A schools. They played 1 6A school and 2 2A schools. So, yeah, I mean, you can't take that record for anything. One thing that, doing the research on that, 7 times the winner of this game has gone on to play in the state championship game, and 6 winners. So this has huge implications on, further on down the line. And honestly, looking at, the possible next round matchup, it's going to be LaVille or Triton. 2 teams are in the Hoosier North with Pioneer. So 2 teams that really didn't give Pioneer much of a challenge, honestly.
Yeah.
So, the winner here tonight has a pretty clear path to probably go down to Lucas Oil once again.
I've seen there's some good teams. I mean, I know you can never overlook an opponent, and, Triton and LaVille are both well coached. And but, one of the things, in the North, I'm going to make this bold statement. I think the 1A state winner, whoever it is going to come from the North.
Yeah.
I think Sheridan is well coached. You got Southwood, who's been solid the last few years. There's some really well coached 1A teams in the North and the South. I mean, we've had problems with some teams from the South, but I'm not as familiar with Southern Indiana football.
Right.
But I just know I've been at a lot of clinics with these guys. I've been around the game a lot with them. I've been on the field with them, and it's just they know how to coach the game.
Yeah.
It's not just it's a motivation, it's an enthusiasm thing, but it's also an X's and O's. They're some of the best right here at Pioneer and CC.
Well, I'm going to take you one step further. You said that you think that the winner of the state is going to come out of the North. I really honestly will tell you I think the winner of the state will come out of this game right here.
Okay.
I think that whoever wins this game right here, it's not going to be a cakewalk by any means. There's a lot of good teams still left alive, but these 2 teams right here are going to battle tonight, and it's going to be a war of attrition. And like you said, it's kind of 2 different styles.
It is. You always get nervous, I guess, when CC is just they usually have good receivers and they can sling it all over the field. And you got to cover if you can't get a good pass rush because their line has always been pretty good pass blocking teams. And if you can't they're not really, their quarterbacks aren't scramblers, but they just know how to throw those seam patterns down the field, and they're really good at catching those fades and seams and things like that across the field.
Well, I tell you, another connection to Culver and to me and to Pioneer. Got some good friends up there. Kara Llewellyn, her husband Ron. They're from this area, and their great-grandsons are freshmen here on the team, Ezra and Adai.
Yeah.
And I tell you, those two boys, I've kind of watched them for the last couple of years, and they were, they're always fast, right?
Yeah.
But they were, skinny junior high kids a couple of years ago, obviously freshmen this year. I saw a picture with Kara and them when they were up at Culver, and boy, they're big now. They got some muscles.
I used to have this kind of discussion with Coach Beach up at Winnemac. He's a friend of mine. He said there's track fast and there's football fast, and then occasionally you get both.
Mm-hmm.
And Llewellyn boys are both. They're running 11 flat 100s. I mean, they're wheeling. I mean, they're moving, humming along.
Yeah, so it should be a good one. We're getting set for the kick here. Looks like Lafayette Catholic's going to be kicking off to start the game to the Panthers. And the Panthers are going to be going left to right here as you're watching on the screen. So I'm excited here. It's first time been down here to Pioneer to do a football game. And here we go, Casey. Pioneer Lafayette Catholic, a short kick. And it's fielded by the up man here. And they get it back to about the 38-yard line of the Knights. And that's where they're going to start. And one person there for Pioneer we haven't really talked about yet. Of course, the do-it-all quarterback, linebacker Jack Kaiser.
Yeah, he's going to be your quarterback. They kind of use him a couple different ways. Jack was moved to quarterback last season, and there was a lot of people questioning that move, but he's the best player on the field. You got to put the ball on the best player and he'll play the strong safety position. He may help with coverage on some of the taller receivers. Looks like Pioneer's going to start right out under center.
All right, so Kaiser takes the snap, and he's going to give it to the right, and they get about 3 yards. Look like
Danny Gagerich, 24 up there. He's a kid that really came on last year. He played a great season. He broke his leg in the semi-state at Adams Central.
Yeah?
Yeah. And he's had a little bit of an issue recovering this year. I mean, he just hasn't had his normal natural ability this year, but he's getting better. He's healthier, and Jack and him seem to be in a good shape tonight.
All right, they're going to go right up the middle again. Looks like about a 4-yard gain. They're going to bring up third down and about 3, looks like, for the Panthers, and they're going to huddle up here.
Well, that's a play they've kind of introduced in the last few seasons, the midline option play. Jack's going to read the 3 technique or the defensive tackle, and he kind of determines whether he's going to keep it or give it to the fullback on those plays, and nice little gain for the Panthers.
Got a little motion there. Kaiser, he's going to keep it, and he's going to get over the 50, get a first down for the Panthers at about the 52-yard or the 48-yard line of LCC.
Tackle made by Turpin.
So last year, after talking to some of the Pioneer coaches and Coach Barry and Coach Gregorich, they started introducing this midline option play, and it was an amazing weapon against CC last year, and they got a lot of yards on it.
Yeah, they've gone 3 plays right up the middle so far, and good for about 12 yards. And there's an option. Kaiser keeps it, and he gets outside, and he's still going and gets down to about the 35-yard line of LCC. They're going to mark it at right at the 37, I guess. They call him out of bounds. So looks like it ought to be enough for another, it is another Pioneer first down.
So when you're kind of walking up the scout plays, you're going to see if you're going to run to the boundary or the field. A lot of teams like to do both, and then sometimes you run the tight end or the strength or the weak side, and Pioneer's running to the boundary right now. Ball's on the right hash.
All right, he gives off to the left, and a couple yards right there for Gregorich. Gregorich?
Gregorich.
Yeah. All right, I'll make sure I say that right. He's going to be carrying the ball a lot.
He's a guy that his brother's the defensive coordinator. He's the DC here at Pioneer, and Dave's done a nice job in the last few years of running the defense.
All right, it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the Panthers. right at the 35-yard line of LCC. And they're going out of the shotgun, going to bring motion man to the right and the option. And Kaiser keeps it and brings it right up the middle. And it looks like he's going to have another Pioneer first down.
So this is where you kind of see Jack Kaiser kind of being used as a power back, even in the shotgun position. He's not a drop back passer. They're going to run power football off tackle with him from the gun, and that's kind of a new thing. You run the motion across, you get the defense to kind of rotate a little bit, and then Jack's going to run inside, and they're going to have a down block, a kick out, and a through block, and he's going to go right off tackle there.
It's almost like running a little bit of a wildcat type set where you're running the running back, but he's your quarterback as well. And we got too tight and got motion. And another option, Kaiser keeps it, and he's going to be brought down after about a 2-yard gain, it looks like.
So that was a nice job there by CC on playing the play correctly there. I mean, you got to, if you're running midline, the defensive tackle has to squeeze down on the fullback. But then there has to be good, solid assignment football to stop that play. And they did a nice job there stopping it.
Yeah, about a 2-yard gain, so we got a second down and about 8 here for the Panthers. And they're doing a pretty good job here on their initial drive. They're taking some time off the clock and marching right down here. Only had 1 third down play so far. Kaiser's going to take, and he gives to the up man, Grigorich, and he's going to get stopped, looks like right at the 20.
That was Jordan Turpin there at 28, just kind of came up. I got nice play there by CC, kind of meeting him in the hole. See, that's a good read. 28, he's an outside backer there, he's a backer, and then what they usually do is they read an open or closed window. If that window opens, they're going to fill it. If it closes, then they kind of move, and they're going to kind of play. They got to read their windows and read their keys to play assignment football.
3rd down and 5. Kaiser takes it out of the gun. He pulls it back, and he's going to run, and he's going to get in the end zone for the touchdown. Panthers on the board first with 7:54 left to go. 9-play drive. 4:06 is your time of possession for the Panthers. Kaiser with a nice read right there. He kept it. Looked like he was going to maybe give it off, but he saw what he needed to see, and he kept it, and he runs it in for the 20-yard touchdown.
You know, there's some different things you can look at there. They're running right at the boundary, right? The ball's on the right hash, running at the boundary. Now, there could be some other elements there. There could be a guy they want to pick on there, you know, a defensive end or a linebacker that they like the matchup. And so they're going to keep Jack, and Jack's a hard guy to bring down.
All right, they're going to go for the extra point here. Good snap. Kick is up, and it's good. And with 7:54 left to go, Pioneer takes a 7-0 lead here from Panther Field. We're going to have a timeout on the field. We're going to come back for the kickoff here. Panthers lead 7-0.
Got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, coverages now. I can help with this. Got zone coverage, man coverage, combo coverages.
I don't know, Peyton. I think more like the coverage your Nationwide agent offers.
Oh, you want to go there? Home, auto, life, business, farm, boat, RV, ATV, camper, pet, motorcycle, your tour bus. Did I mention farm?
Contact Jennings Insurance Agency today or visit one of our offices in Argus and Rochester.
All right, welcome back to Pioneer High School. The Panthers just scored a nice touchdown, 20-yard run by Jack Kaiser, cap off a 65-yard drive. And the Panthers are up early here at the sectional championship over LCC 7-0.
And Jordan Turpin deep for the Knights.
We call the field a pit.
The pit?
Panther pit,
okay.
yeah, so
Good
we
deal.
call it the pit. It's kind of a pit out there too, so that's it. The name kind of works. So,
all right, a short kick fielded at the 25 of Pioneer, and nowhere to go for Adam Dienhart of LCC, and he's taken down at the 25-yard line.
well, I think, Steve, what you're going to see now is you're going to see a little bit of test here. You're going to see if the Pioneer DBs can hold up. CC's gonna throw it around. They're gonna have to play some different coverages. I've talked to some coaches. They may have some different blitz packages in this week. When you blitz, you're basically kind of playing man coverage, and you're gonna hold up with your man, and you got to get to the quarterback because sometimes teams will pick you apart.
Now they're going to go off tackle on the first run, and the running back is going to be dropped for a loss of about 4 yards, and going to bring up a second down, and looks like maybe about 12 they're going to call it. So loss of 2 on the first play of the drive for LCC.
I see Jason Murch is going to play that 9 technique or 5 technique, depending on if they have a tight end or not. 75 for Pioneer. He kind of doesn't look like much real intimidating, but man, he gets in the backfield all the time. He's like a missile coming out of that stance, coming out in trips down here to the boundary.
All right, so probably our first pass of the night. Looking at for LCC, got trips left, and the quarterback comes back in a little screen into the middle, and they get back to the original line of scrimmage, and nothing more right now for LCC. So they're going to have a 3rd and 10 coming up.
I think that was probably a tendency that they found in the video, right? They're going trips. There's a possibility they could run a screenplay, and sometimes defenses aren't disciplined enough to be able to stop that screenplay, and Pioneer did a nice job stopping that because your middle linebacker's got a lot of pressure, and they blitzed the middle linebacker there, so your outside backer had to step up.
All right, 3rd and 10 here for Lafayette Central, and the quarterback drops back, and he's going to go to the right, and he's going for big yardage right there. They're going to get the first down and much more at the 40 of Pioneer, and a nice pass play of about 40 yards there for LCC.
Really was a nice pass play. I thought Kaiser had the angle on him, but it looked like it was just a little bit, didn't have the great angle, and CC guy, I'm not sure what number that was, might have been 83. He had some wheels.
So we got a 1st and 10 from Pioneer's 42-yard line. Out of shotgun again are the LCC Knights. And we're going to go inside handoff, and he's going to go up for about a gain of 3.
See, I don't think that's going to be as effective for CC today. I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball against Pioneer. I think they're going to have to attack the young corners, the Pioneers, the Llewellyn boys. They're young kids. They're very good athletes, but they're young. They're green, as I like to call it, right? They need some experience.
Yep.
But I think they're going to play some. Pioneer's going to probably play a little cover 2 with a little safety help on top, and do some different things to rotate.
2nd down and 8 from the Pioneer 40-yard line. Velasquez in the shotgun. He's going to bring a man in motion to the left. He's going to go back. He's got a man open down the field, and it's caught for about a 15-yard gain by number 26.
28. Jordan Turpin. Man, that kid has got some wheels.
So a big gainer there again for LCC, and they're down to the 18-yard line of Pioneer. And they found, they're going to put it back at the 20, right at the 20.
Well, that was a good crossing route there, almost a drag route above the linebackers, right? So you want to get that kid above your linebackers. He made a nice little run and catch there. Good job.
Velasquez out of the gun. He's looking to the right, and he's going to back her all wide open in the flank in the wing position over there, and he dropped the ball.
They're running those stop routes over there a little bit, and they're not very big. I think Pioneer's going to play some different coverages, but right there, the receiver's really only going about 1 or 2 yards. And it's kind of a interesting kind of play there they're running. It seems effective, though, against that defense.
All right, so 2nd down and 10 at the Pioneer 20-yard line. On the left hash, near side of the field, Velasquez again in the shotgun. He's got 2 right, 2 wide to the left, 1 backer. A little pistol action there for Velasquez. He's going to the corner of the end zone.
And I think Jack intercepted it, but I'm not sure they're going to give it to him. They did. They give it to Kaiser on the pick in the end zone. He must have got 1 foot down.
Yeah, he had his feet in there. I couldn't see who had the ball, and Kaiser comes away with it. So promising drive for LCC ends in a Kaiser interception in the end zone. So,
man, he took an angle and he shot out like a cannon there, like a missile, and jumped that route. And that was impressive there for a kid that hasn't been 100% every week this year. Those are things that Pioneer's going to have to do tonight to win. They're going to have to make big plays like that. That was a nice play there.
All right, so the Panthers are going to have the ball on the 20-yard line of LCC starting after the interception from Jack Kaiser. And they're going to give it off. And no, Kaiser kept it up the middle again.
Pretty good fake there by Danny Gregorich running out the fake. And those are things, you know, when you're coaching this offense and you're coaching the wing T football, you got to carry out fakes and you got to be disciplined and you got to carry those fakes out every single time.
3 yards on the play. They'll make it 2nd down, 7 to go.
All right, 2nd and 7 from the 23-yard line. And Kaiser's going to give it up the middle to Gregorich, and he's going to get pretty close to a 1st down right there.
So that's a little trap play there, right? Trap's been around forever, trap play. And Danny Gregorich there is he's a big back, and he's a very physical back, and he's going to fight for every single yard. It'd be interesting to see what they do here. 3rd and short. So it seems like when you're 3rd and short and you got number 4 in the backfield, I think you know who to go to.
I think that there's a chance, and they're going to go right up the gut, and there's another big run by Gregorich right up the middle, and he gets it out to about the 43-yard line of LCC. 1st down, Pioneer.
And Danny's a horse back there. He's 5'8", 193, and he runs hard. He's a hard kid to take down. He's a really good linebacker as well. But I talked to Coach Berkshire. He's one of the assistant coaches here. He said we're going to run some trap this week. We're going to run some back trap. We're going to run away from motion, do some different things. And nice play there.
All right, 1st down for the Panthers on the 42 of the LCC Knights. And they're going to go right back up the gut once more, and they're going to get about 3 yards on the play. Gregorich once again, the ball carrier. It's going to bring up about a 2nd down and 7 for the Panthers.
And I know it's not as exciting football, right? But this is what you need to do. You need to take that clock time away, get your 3.5, 4 yards every down, and you're going to be in good shape against this team because CC can score in a hurry.
Kaiser takes it. He gives it off to the side. And Ezra got it. Ezra Llewellyn with a big gainer up to the left side right there. And a great job there by the freshman Llewellyn. He gets about 20 yards on the run. And he gets it over to the
one of the things that I liked right there, Steve, was that the first arm tackle didn't take Ezra down.
And there's another big run up the gut by Gregorich.
Gregorich. I'm going to get you to say it right by the end of the night.
Sorry.
But Llewellyn's not getting taken down by arm tackles.
Yeah.
He ran through tackles. He ran through people there. Danny's a veteran. Llewellyns are younger.
Yeah.
I mean, they're freshmen.
Well, if you can get them out in space, like we talked about, I mean, their speed is unbelievable. And you saw that right there. He was able to get free from that first tackle and get wide there on the left.
They've been using them more as space runners, right? That's the big thing in college football, get it to your athlete in space. And I guarantee Coach Barry's going to get it to those kids in space.
So Pioneer 1st down on the LCC 24.5-yard line. Kaiser gives it up the middle to Gregorich.
Just a little trap play there.
Couple yards.
A little trap play, and that's been something that they've ran for years.
Gregorich is going to take a break.
You know, he's had a deep thigh bruise for a couple weeks, and you know he's gonna have to probably let that heal a little bit. But he's playing with a lot of passion and enthusiasm despite dealing with some things this year.
Kaiser's going to keep it up the middle, and he's getting down to about the 7-yard line, it looks like, on a big run. He's going to have a Pioneer 1st down.
When you run that off tackle play, you have the option of giving it to your jet man coming across, right? Well, Jack's smart enough to be able to make the correct read. And when you do that, it puts your defense in a lot of conflict.
All right, so another Pioneer first down. It's a first and goal play from the just inside the 10-yard line for the Panthers. We're getting down to the end of the first quarter, 45 seconds to go. Kaiser's going to start out under center. He drops back into the pistol, and he's looking, and he gives it off. No, he kept it again. Boy, he really handles that fake, and there's a touchdown for the Panthers with 31.8 seconds left here in the first quarter. Pioneers up 13-0 with the PAT coming.
They really like running that to the boundary there, and they like what they see, and Jack's having a good time kind of running over some people over there, and I think 4 came to play tonight.
That is a 9-play, 75-yard drive for the Panthers, topped off by a 10-yard run by Kaiser. And let's see if we can tap in the PAT here to make it an even 14-0 for the Panthers. And it is up and it's good. So the score is 14-0, Pioneer leading LCC with 31.8 seconds left here in the first quarter of play. We're going to take a break and come back here with the kickoff in just a minute.
Simplify your banking with a Simply Free checking account from First Federal Savings Bank.
All it takes is a $50 opening deposit. There's no minimum balance requirement and no service fees.
For a limited time, you'll also receive a free gift just for opening a checking account.
And with Instant Issue, we can give you a debit card when you open your account, giving you immediate access to your funds.
Simply Free checking from First Federal Savings Bank, a simpler way to bank.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
All right, welcome back here. Pioneer Panthers getting set to kick the ball off after a second Kaiser touchdown here in the first quarter. And they have a 14-0 lead over LCC. I tell you what, Jack Kaiser came to play tonight. He's got 2 touchdowns and an interception in the end zone so far tonight. And Pioneer is doing pretty good here so far in the first quarter.
Well, they're a lot of fun to watch right now. And I tell you what, if you put the ball in number 4's hands, you always got a chance. And that play on defense and the 2 runs on offense have been very effective against CC's defense. And that, you know, they're going to come back. They're going to be able to throw it around here. They found a few holes, and they marched it down the field pretty good, so Pioneer might have to make a few adjustments.
Yeah, it took them 6 plays to get down the field, and, you know, it took a Kaiser interception to keep them out of the end zone. So the kickoff goes to the 15, and he's found a hole and got clear through to the 35 of Pioneer.
Now, this is a kid that broke his collarbone early in the year. His name's Kayvon Clark, and he's a weapon that they have that we haven't seen much this year because he just can't. I think this is his first game back.
Yeah, I remember I read that article that he had been out the entire season. So, yeah, he's back, and he is a big weapon for LCC. So with 25.8 seconds left, LCC has a 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
They really like this 2-by-2 set right here, 2 receivers on each side.
Velasquez in the pistol, and he's going to give it off, and they're going to go wide right or wide left, and picks up about 2 yards on the play.
You know, this is the CC offense that we're used to. They're really doing a nice job attacking a few of the holes. You know, every defense has holes. Nothing's perfect, right? But they're doing some smart things right now.
All right, so it's a 1-yard gain, bringing up 2nd and 9 here for LCC. And that's going to do it for the first quarter of play here from Pioneer High School. We're coming to you live from the pit where Pioneer leads 14-0 after 1. We're going to take a break and be back for second quarter action here in just a minute.
Hey, football fans, Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester will give you $500 off any vehicle on their lot just for saying you saw the game here on RTC TV4. $500 off any vehicle on the lot just for seeing your team take home the sectional trophy. Drive a little, save a lot at Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester, where they treat you like family. Check out their inventory online at shepherdsrochester.com.
Slow download, constant buffering, Wi-Fi dead zone? Let RTC help. The customer support team at RTC Communications is here to help you with your internet connectivity.
Hi, I'm Bonnie, one of the support team members here at RTC. For a small fee, RTC offers a Wi-Fi health check where we will evaluate your in-home Wi-Fi network and assist you with common issues. See what RTC can do for you. Give us a call today.
All right, welcome back. Second half action getting set to get underway. LCC with the ball on a 2nd down and 8 from the 35-yard line. And they got a pass. They got a man over to the left. Llewellyn doesn't see him, and it's a big gainer for LCC. He's at the 20, and he's going to get all the way down to the 15-yard line before Llewellyn can bring him down. And that's a huge play for the Knights.
Well, that's
number
83 there.
Number 83.
David Schwartz, 6'2", junior veteran, 160. He's got quite the height advantage on Llewellyn, and you know those are going to be Pioneers' weak spots just because they're young and they're not super tall. Those corners are not built tall. They're short and speedy.
Well, Ezra wasn't able to get his head around and see the ball coming in, and it was a huge gainer for LCC, and they got a 1st and 10 from the 15, and a little pitch forward from Velasquez, and a nice little run there by number 5 for LCC, Kayvon Clark, and he's going to go ahead for about, looks like about 5 yards there on the gain.
Nice little play there by CC with a little pitch play, and
so LCC marching down the field right now, kind of doing like you said in the pregame. They're throwing the ball kind of all over the field right now, and they got a 2nd down and about 5 from looks like about the 12-yard line.
Yeah, they're not scared to throw it around, that's for sure. And looks like we're showing blitz, but
they're going to give it right up the middle, and looks like they stopped him short of the 1st down. Looks like he's going to be right on the 10-yard line.
And when you throw the ball, you got to hold your pass. They're usually a pretty good, solid pass blocking team. And if you can't get pressure, the cornerbacks and the defensive backs got to hold up the coverage, right? And that makes it a little bit of a challenge. So right now, CC's their best weapon is to throw the ball right now because they haven't ran the ball very successfully tonight at all.
All right, they're staying with the 2 wides on both sides. Velasquez, he's looking over to the right. He's going to try and get Llewellyn again, and Llewellyn did a nice job over there. And he finds a man in the corner of the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown, LCC. Got a Panther down on the field right there at about the 15.
Let's see who that is. Hopefully it's nothing big or cramp or something, but can't see the number. It's just one of the tough things about football is, you deal with this part of it and see but CC the quarterback scrambled. He probably had the option of either kind of a run or throw, and they get on the board. And
all right, we're going to take a break here while they tend to the injured Pioneer Panther on the field. We'll be right back.
Are you in pain from an injury or arthritis? What if there was a place that could meet all of your orthopedic needs? A place with some of the best orthopedic doctors and staff in the Midwest. A place where you're treated as a person instead of a patient. What if that place weren't in Chicago or Indianapolis? There is such a place. Rochester Orthopedics, your regional orthopedic specialist. When you're looking for comfort and relief, remember, trust the board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeons at Rochester Orthopedics.
At First Federal Savings Bank, we can help you remodel your home, consolidate debt, or even provide some spending cash for you with our home equity line of credit.
Our standard home equity line of credit allows borrowers to draw funds for up to 10 years and comes with no closing costs for qualified customers.
Take advantage of this great opportunity. Contact one of our experienced mortgage lenders or apply online at firstfederalbanking.com. And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
All right, the injured player, number 64, Connor Walker, a 6'1 junior. They got him off for the Panthers, and the extra point is good for LCC, bringing the score to 14-7 with 10:13 to go in the first half.
You know, I think that was kind of you know, they're really good pass blockers there, right? And then you give the quarterback time, and then he had to scramble, and there really wasn't much containment on that side. And guy hit the, you know, all you got to do is cross the first inch of that white line there on the end zone, and you score. So that was a pretty good series of CC coming down the field here.
Yeah, it was a quick 6-play drive. They went 65 yards with a 10-yard Turpin catch from Velasquez for the touchdown to bring it to a 14-7 game. And you said the injured player, Walker, was also the center, so you know, they'll have to bring in somebody for that when they get on offense.
And that hasn't been, you know, the strongest part of Pioneer's team this year, the offensive line. So that's kind of a not a good injury. That's not something that we like to see, especially for these high school kids that put their bodies through it every week.
All right, so LCC is going to kick off here with 10:13 left to go in the first half of action here from the pit. Pioneer leads 14-7. So the kick is off and up, and it's going to be fielded at the 15-yard line by Kaiser. And he finds a little bit of a hole. He's still going at the 30, makes it out to the 32-yard line. Nice return there by Kaiser, 17 yards.
He's kind of like his brother. He does it all out there. He returns kicks. He can throw it. He can run it. You know, he just got the gifts.
All right, so we're going to start at the 32-yard line of LCC.
Looks like I don't see who came in for Connor, but Connor, you know, he's a good kid. I went to Wing T camp. He's one of the best linemen on the team, and got a good family. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Looks like 63. Is that Garrett Schroeder? Is that right?
Yeah, Garrett's been a player. They run a little off tackle there. They went under center. You're going to see a little mix up of some Wing T staple plays, like the off tackle power, cross block, trap, keep pass, things like that. And then you'll see a little bit of the gun power play, and that's kind of a more the evolving offense that you see a little bit more in the college game.
All right, so second down and about 6 here for the Panthers. Coming out from the 36-yard line of LCC. Kaiser under center, and it gives off to the left side. A nice gainer there for the Panthers.
He got bent backwards there. You never like to see that, but hopefully he gets up from that.
And we got a flag, our first penalty of the day. And they're right almost at the first down mark. Let's see what the flag's for.
I'm not so sure they wouldn't have got something where he's you know, like a receiver where, you know, they can't defend themselves and something like that, because he got bent back.
Personal foul on LCC, so that's going to be a 15-yard penalty for LCC. So our first penalty of the night goes against Lafayette Catholic, and it's a 15-yarder.
One of the things you see, and Coach Johnson used to do it a lot, is run to the boundary here. They're really hitting, you know, coming down the field, going to the east, right? They're hitting the right boundary. Now they're hitting the left boundary quite a bit, running right to that boundary, usually because it's a numbers advantage. It's a numbers game, right? You know, run where they ain't. That's what they used to say.
Right.
So Pioneer's doing a good job of that right now.
They're going to have a 1st and 10 at the LCC 43-yard line. And they're spreading it out a little bit here. You got 2 on the right, 1 on the left, and Kaiser gives it right up the middle to Gregorich.
You'll get it.
I'll get it eventually.
That's a little cross block play. They like that, and you know, ran it to the field side there. You know, you got to mix it up. You know, when I played here, right, you do a tendencies, and you know, they run the field, they run to the boundary, they run the tight end, they run the split end. What's their favorite formation? Things like that. And you know, CC is basically they're sitting in what we call like a 3-4 or 5-2 type defense with their backers walked up. They're standing up, okay, but they run that really well.
Another short gain up the middle for Gregorich.
When you run the trap play, that's the staple wing T play, right? CC has probably been working on that, and if you don't close quick as a defensive tackle, you're going to get a 10-yard gain and you're going to get gashed. And CC's doing a nice job closing in, not giving those big gains on that guard trap play.
So 3rd down and 4 here for the Panthers. Kaiser under center. He puts Gregorich in motion, and they're going to go right up the middle once again. And it's going to be close, but I think they're going to be short. And I don't know, is this 4-down territory right
absolutely.
here?
I think so.
Yeah, you got Kaiser. You're 4-down territory pretty much anywhere, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
With a 4th and 1?
Yeah. I mean, Jack's what is he? He's 6'2", 205, probably a little bit more than that. And, you know, I take my chances. The only challenge you have is you have a young center in there. You got a replacement center in there, and you got to determine what's your best point of attack, where to go. Ball's in the middle of the field right now, so we'll kind of see what they do. Looks like Coach Berry might take a timeout and think about it.
Timeout. Pioneer.
All right, so we got a timeout on the field. The Panthers are going to talk it over here. They're going to decide what they're going to do on this 4th down play. So we're going to take a break and be right back here from Pioneer Panther, the pit here at Pioneer High School.
Townhome Furnishings in Rochester is the place to shop for all of your furniture needs. Sofas, recliners, love seats, dining sets, bedroom sets, mattresses, outdoor furniture, and more. All in your hometown. Stop out and see Don, Mary Kay, Linda, or Joe. They want to help you find the exact pieces to fit your needs. Shop online at townhomefurnishings.com.
Hometown service, down home style, Town Home Furnishings.
All right, welcome back here. Big 4th down play for the Panthers coming up, and want to give a shout out to my buddy Grant Montgomery watching from home. He's trying to help me with Gregorich's name, giving me little phonics lessons here on my phone as I'm trying to do this. So
tell Grant to calm down.
Yeah,
man.
Say hi to all the Montgomerys there at home watching on the big screen. They couldn't make it that whole 6 miles to get here.
I like that, Steve. I like that.
All righty, so big 4th down play here for the Panthers. Kaiser under center.
Well, look, he's audibling right now. He's checking out because, look, CC's got a lot over there on the left side, so you might have an audible.
Motion man Gregorich going up the middle, and the ball's loose, and it's going to be LCC ball.
Yeah, that's a CC good play there by Central Catholic. I think maybe Danny jumped too soon and ball came loose. So we have 2 turnovers. Pretty penalty-free game other than the one, and now we have 2 turnovers, and, you know, that's tough. Pioneer's going to have to kind of stiffen up here on defense. They're going to have to play really solid defense.
So it's going to be LCC's ball starting off at the Pioneer 32-yard line off of the fumble by Gregorich. And the Panthers are really going to have to find an answer to the passing game here for the Knights. They've not been able to slow them down a whole lot here so far this evening. And there's a flag on the play that looks like an offsides, and they're going to get the quarterback for a loss of about 7, 8 yards right there.
That's Jason Mersch right there, 75. And he's not a big guy, but, man, he gets off the ball and he shoots out of his stance, especially on the, you do the tendencies, right? You say is a first down one of their throwing tendencies? Is, 3rd and long, you think counter, you think screen, you think a throwing down, and then first down there, and Jason Mersch shot out like a missile and did a nice job getting that. I love those little he used his moves, used his hands, attacked the defensive or offensive lineman, and got a nice little stop there.
So they declined the penalty. LCC was offsides, but with the big sack by Mersch, they're going to decline the penalty. So it's a big 2nd down here for LCC. Velasquez, coverage is a lot better there for, and then Llewellyn's got to turn around.
There's no penalty there, which is surprising. I thought maybe.
Yeah, he never made a play for the ball right there. I don't know. Maybe they were going to call that uncatchable. It was very well underthrown.
Could have possibly been a face guarding if the ref would have been picky, but he did a nice job there. And I don't, left-handed quarterbacks sometimes make you, when they roll that direction, they got to completely turn their shoulders, and he had to roll to the right.
Yeah,
and turn his shoulders, so that's a little tricky.
It's always difficult rolling. So that's a big play there by Pioneer, bringing up a 3rd and 17 for Lafayette Catholic. So just as we said, they need to find a way to stop LCC, and right now they've got him in a good spot. Velasquez back.
Screen's
got pressure and knocked down by Pioneer, so it's going to bring up a 4th down, and LCC is going to have to punt.
That was a really solid defensive series for Pioneer, right? You get pressure, you stop the screen play, because you got to think, all right, 3rd and long. They're either it's a screen, it's a counter. Usually they don't really throw counters. They're either going to throw deep or they're going to throw some type of screen, and there Pioneer had it stuffed.
Well, Mersch, that play on 1st down with the sack, that was big for the Panthers right there.
Oh, it was huge. It was a huge play there by Jason Mersch.
Puts them in a hole, and then the 2nd down play by Llewellyn, and then they can't get anything going on 3rd, so it's going to be a punt. We got Kaiser back to field the punt. He's about the 40-yard line. High snap, and it's blocked. And it's going to be bad news for Lafayette Catholic. They're going to be brought down at the 10, so it's going to be Pioneer ball starting at the 10-yard line for the Panthers.
That was a great play there by Pioneer. I didn't catch who did it, but that is such they call that tilting the field, right? Pioneer tilts the field. They get the block. It didn't look like that was a great snap to the punter, and he kind of fumbled it, and Pioneer getting some good field position, and this is exactly what they need coming in with 6:12 to go in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, that snap, I was a long snapper in high school, and I know I sent a couple over my punter's head, and that was almost over the punter's head right there. Terrible snap by LCC. And Pioneer's going to go right up the gut and get it to about, looks like maybe the 3-yard line. Bring up 2nd down and goal for the Panthers. Maybe the 4 from here, it looks.
They run that deep. There's a couple different types of motion they'll run. They run the deep rocket motion. They run the right behind the quarterback, the jet motion, and there they run the rocket motion, right? Kind of fool them and run jack up the middle, and pretty effective play. And they'll offset the fullback on that play.
So 2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line for the Panthers. And a keeper up the middle, and Kaiser is in the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, you give Jack Kaiser a short field, and that's what he's going to do with it. He's going to put it in the end zone and put the lead in the Panthers' hands. And I tell you what, he's a horse. He's a hard guy for CC to bring down, and I'm not sure they've tackled a guy that runs as hard as Jack Kaiser.
Well, they're having a hard time doing it now. So the 2-play, 10-yard drive, touchdown for the Pioneer, and the extra point upcoming here for the Panthers. They're up 20-7. And the kick is up and right down the middle for the Panthers. So 21-7, the Pioneer Panthers lead with 5:31 left to go here in the 1st half.
Well, those PATs are important too. I mean, you never know with CC. They're so dangerous. And it's good to see Nussbaum kind of put those right through the uprights.
Yeah, you don't ever want to leave a point on the table, so to speak. So we're going to come back here in just a minute with the kickoff from the pit here at Pioneer High School.
Hey everybody, I got exciting news. Country Lanes has a new state-of-the-art scoring system.
Come out, let your kids be mesmerized by the animated backgrounds. Take a safari trip to Jungle Jive or an outer space adventure in Cosmic Crush. Themes like the Kecklers or High Seas will entertain your little ones for hours. Choose extreme sports or click on Ninja Strike for martial arts. This high-spirited atmosphere is way cheaper than Cedar Point. Come out and visit Country Lanes for all your bowling fun.
All right, welcome back to the pit here at Pioneer High School. Panthers just put another touchdown on the board off of a big punt block. 2-play, 10-yard drive. Kaiser with a 4-yard run to punch it into the end zone. puts the Panthers up 21-7 with 5:31 left here in the first half.
Just got confirmation. Ezra Llewellyn on the pump block there. Ezra
Llewellyn, all right. Great job by Ezra.
He had a nice, they brought a good rush there, and it was kind of a bad snap, but then, it's a good tackle there because those guys can bust loose too.
All right, a line drive kick, and it's going to go down and stay out of the end zone, and LCC fields at about the 4, and he's brought down by a big tackle right there at the 15-yard line where LCC is going to start their drive.
I don't know why I enjoy hard-hitting football games, and when you hit hard and you make good hits on special teams and kickoff, it's just a lot of fun to watch because you can tell teams take special teams seriously, and some teams it's not as important. And here, NCC as well, they both take it very important.
Well, that's a big-time play right there. They've got to go 85 yards to get into the end zone now with a huge special team play by the Panthers.
I'd kind of like to see Pioneer get a better pass rush against this team.
All right, Velasquez back out of the shotgun, and he's going to pitch it forward, and they're going to try the left side. And they got a couple blockers up there, but there's a nice job on the tackle by Gregorich after a couple-yard gain there by LCC.
It was a pretty good-looking play there for a minute, and then Pioneer was really good at pursuing the football there. I thought they might bust it for 7 or 8 yards, but they got about 4.
Yeah, Gregorich came in there and was able to block it. I mean, they had looked like 2 or 3 blockers right out there in front of the runner. And
well, you got to get guys to buy in on defense that they're not always going to be the play stopper, but they got to stop the blocking, right? They got to destroy blocking schemes, and Pioneer does a pretty dang good job of that.
All right, Velasquez out of the gun, second down for LCC, drops back. Can't find anybody open. He's got one right down the middle on a big play. And that's going to be a first down. That's a nice catch there by Hudson on the play of about 15 yards.
That was a pretty good job of Carlos Velasquez stepping up in the pocket there and doing a nice job finding that hole. Sometimes quarterback, that seems like, in the last 15, 20 years, CC's always had really well-coached quarterbacks. And they did a nice job there. And Pioneer did a good job keeping the ball in front of them. You got to keep the ball in front of you, nothing deep, right?
So 1st and 10, Lafayette Catholic on Pioneer's 30-yard line. Velasquez out of the gun once again. He's got a motion man coming off. They're going to do an inside handoff for about 5. Bringing up a second down and looks like about 6. So they're going to call it about 4 on the gain for the Knights. And
looks like Dean Shaw and Nick Rogers are going to come in for the Panthers to give Ethan Schroeder and Gavin James a break.
So the Knights are right at the 35 of Pioneer. Velasquez in the pistol, and he's got 4 out in the pattern, and there's a nice catch, and he's going to be brought down right.
Oh, the ball popped out. I think Pioneer might have it. It's going to be we got a flag. So we got a fumble. Who recovered it with a flag on the field? It's right at the 48-yard line of Pioneer. Can't tell from here. Whenever you have those tight plays on a sideline, Steve, you're always got coaches in your ear as a ref.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they're going to say it's going to be LCC ball and a personal foul on LCC.
We'll take that.
So that's going to bring them back 15 yards. Second personal foul call on the Knights.
You got some stuff going on, some riffraff going on right now, and
well, not surprising with this rivalry that there's going to be some chirping.
Oh, sure. You just. You feel for a team that loses a head coach at the end of the regular season, and you gotta, it's as a coach, you're almost a psychologist as well. You're trying to get your team's head where they at, and how to motivate them and keep their head right in a game that's as emotional and as tight as a game like this.
So that 15-yard penalty moves them back, but it is going to be a 1st and 10 from the 31 of the Panthers for LCC. And a pitch, jet sweep right, and nicely defense there by Kaiser. He was either going to turn him in, and there was plenty of help right there, or the guy was going to try and go around him, and Kaiser brings him down.
One of the things I talked to Coach Berkshire about this week was they're going to have to move Jack around. They can't keep him at strong safety the whole time. They're going to have to use him and kind of do some different things to cover some of their taller receivers. And Jack did a nice job of brushing off that wide receiver, because sometimes the wide receivers don't like to block a lot. And
sometimes,
Jack threw that, shedded that block really quickly and made a nice play.
All right, so that's going to bring down 2nd and 10 for LCC. Velasquez from the gun. Good coverage there by Pioneer. He's got nobody over there, and the pass is going to fall well short of the receiver, and that's going to be 3rd and 10 now. So good defense here by the Panthers, and big 3rd and 10 coming up here for the Knights.
Well, it looked like Pioneer was kind of in a cover 2 shell type defense there. Cover 2 pretty popular with Tony Dungy when he's at the Colts. You're going to drop your 2 safeties deep. They're going to cover the deep zones. Your corners are kind of be flat players, and your linebackers. And then Tony Dungy had to add what was called the Tampa 2 defense, where you drop your middle linebacker in the deep hole in the middle of the field. I think Pioneer may run a little bit of that tonight as well.
All right, so a big 3rd and 10 here for the Knights. Velasquez out of the gun. He's got a guy over the middle, and he can't bring it in. No flags. No flags on the play, and it's going to be a 4th down here for the Knights.
I tell you what, I think if Pioneer can get it down and score one more time, I think the Panther fans would feel a little bit more comfortable if they were able to do that.
Well, they got 2 minutes and 19 seconds. That's every bit a possibility. And last time the Knights went to punt, it was blocked by Llewellyn. So we'll see if they can get off a clean punt. Take a look at the snap and see where that's at, because that was the cause of the block the last time. So they're going to punt it from about the 28 or the 18-yard line. The high snap again, but he's able to get it.
Wow. I think we got a flag here.
Another flag.
A little bit of a hold. That was almost like a hip wrestling move. What are those called? A hip drag or something? He just kind of threw him over.
Well, you got
hip toss. There it is.
You got me on that. I never wrestled. Yeah.
I'm not a wrestler, but that was basically a hip toss, and that's a hold. And it was pretty obvious right here at the 20.
I was a little tall and lanky to be wrestling. I had a buddy that I outweighed by about 50 pounds, and I tried wrestling one time, and he took me out in about 3 seconds.
I don't mess with wrestlers, man.
No.
I just don't do it.
Holding on LCC. So they're going to redo the kick here after a 10-yard penalty. So that's going to move LCC back even farther with 2:09 left to go. The Panthers are going to be sitting in good shape here after this punt.
Yeah, and you're always in pretty good shape here when you got 4 in the back returning kicks. But, that snap was ugly again. It did not look good in the punter's hand. And I think Pioneer said, we'll make them kick it again, make sure they get that snap, So I think that's a good move, solid move by Coach Berry.
Well, it looks like they're bringing everybody up here. They got Jack up front. There's nobody back to receive the punt, so they're going to try and see if they can't catch lightning in the bottle again right here with the punt block. They saw that too. That's 2 bad snaps right there by LCC. I mean, like I said, being a former – nope, there he goes. Being a former snapper, you got to get some velocity on that thing, and it just kind of floated back there that second time. So we got a late Panther coming in on the line. There's a low snap, and that one's going to be blocked as well, and it's going to go out of bounds right at the 20, looks like about 20.5-yard line. So your prediction here, make them punt again, and a great field position to start for Pioneer in this.
Well, I think a little dose of Kaiser and a little dose of Gregorich here would kind of be the answer to make Pioneer fans feel better. I think, I don't. It's always tricky because you run the ball, the clock keeps moving, and you want to probably use as much clock as you can. But CC will get the ball second half coming out. Is that right?
No,
I messed that up.
Yeah, Pioneer. The CC kick or Pioneer kicked off.
Okay.
No. Pioneer had it first.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Pioneer had it first.
So you see they just ran the midline play to the boundary there, right at the numbers. Okay, you got the ball, basically on the 15 and 16, and the run into the boundary. Like I said, you get the numbers advantage usually. It doesn't always work that way, but sometimes you, as an offensive coach, you're trying to look for numbers.
All right, 2nd down and 5 from the 16 here for the Panthers, trying to punch one in the last minute and a half of the half. And they're going to give it to Llewellyn. He's going to go up the left side, and he's going to get taken down about the 11, it looks like, maybe the 10.
Little buck sweep to the boundary. I like that call there. Buck sweep, a pretty good staple play of the wing tee, and ran it there with the Ezra Llewellyn, and looking pretty good there. I like that.
All right, so that was good for a 1st down for the Panthers. So they're going to have 1st and, boy, they're just outside the 10, so it's not 1st and goal, I don't think. Yeah, it's going to be 1st. They can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown, but I don't think they're going to have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's
Panthers
coming down on 1 minute here in the 2nd quarter.
Clock still running right at a minute. And Kaiser right up the middle, and he's going to be right there. Just a little bit short, it looks like, of the goal, maybe at the 2-yard line. Clock still rolling with 50 seconds, 48 to go here in the 1st half.
My guess is you give it to 4 on a little sneak here. You only got about 1 yard here. Well, 1 yard to a 1st down. Probably, what do we got, 3 yards to a touchdown. And they're having a lot of success running the ball right now. So what, you don't roll out and pass the ball here. It'd be kind of silly.
All right, so they still have a couple timeouts, so they're not worried about the clock right now. And there's right up the middle, and the pile is moving, but it's moving to the side. I can't tell. No indication yet. And it looks like they're going to be just a little bit short, and a timeout on the field here for the Panthers with 16 seconds left.
Well, this is the only timeout they've used. So Pioneers got 2 timeouts left. You got enough time here.
Oh, you got a player. You got a player down for the Panthers, number 55, Nick Rogers, the 6-foot senior. And
well, you got enough time here to probably run a couple plays, probably 3 plays, really. I mean, just be interesting to see how they handle this coming in.
All right, so we're going to take a timeout on the field while they tend to the injured player for the Panthers. We'll be back here from the pit here in just a minute.
Protect yourself from personal attack on campus, in the home, at the mall, or wherever you are. Blue Dragon Taekwondo in Rochester is offering a self-defense boot camp so that you have the basic skills to protect yourself in an attack. Blue Dragon is the area's leading martial arts facility. Master instructor Dave Colger and his team welcome new participants and those seeking to learn the basic self-defense techniques. Contact Blue Dragon Taekwondo today to learn more about this exciting self-defense boot camp. Over the past few years, RTC TV4 has produced over 1,800 local videos about you, your family, your friends, your neighbors. Now all of these videos are available at the click of a mouse on our website, rtc4.com. Log on today to see all of our great coverage of sporting events, school programs, public meetings, and more. RTC TV4 and rtc4.com. See for yourself.
Got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, coverages now. I can help with this. Got zone coverage, man coverage, combo coverages.
I don't know, Peyton. I think more like the coverage your Nationwide agent offers.
Oh, you want to go there? Home, auto, life, business, farm, boat, RV, ATV, camper, pet, motorcycle, your tour bus. Right. Did I mention farm?
Contact Jennings Insurance Agency today or visit one of our offices in Argus and Rochester.
All right, welcome back here to the pit. Pioneer High School, and Nick Rogers, the injured Panther, being helped off of the field. The Panthers have 16 seconds here, and they're on the 1-yard line.
Well, I think this is, they call this kind of a check with me situation. Jack's going to come up probably and see where the numbers advantage is, and he's probably going to run it to one of the A gaps probably, or maybe even have to get it out to B gap to see what they're going to give him. But when you have a smart quarterback, it makes the game so much easier to be a coach. It really helps. You got kids that buy in, and they bought in here for years about the system, and the system works. And this is where you kind of trust your coaches and trust your players, and hopefully Pioneer can get one in here going into half.
That'd be a big play. They're up 21-7 with 16 seconds to go. on the 1-yard line of the Lafayette Catholic Knights. And they've got a 1st and goal. Kaiser under center, and he's going to go right up the gut, and he looked like he dove underneath, and no indication. There it is, touchdown. I thought he was in. He kind of dove right underneath everybody. A lot of times you see him try and go through, and he went underneath, and that was a big play, 5-play, 21-yard drive with the Panther touchdown by Kaiser.
I really haven't seen that much. Usually you kind of run right behind. I've never seen somebody dive in there. But if you don't have that much yardage to go, that's a smart way to handle it.
Right.
Smart way to do it.
We do a lot of soccer up there for Argus, and, they call that, when you go between somebody's legs, they call it a nutmeg with the ball, and he almost looked like he nutmegged the center. I mean, went right in between, probably in between the two. But
That's a flag.
Yeah. Do have a flag on the play there.
Okay, so the extra point was good. Flag on the play. No, they picked it up.
Wow. That's always tricky when you see a ref pick up a flag. It makes me nervous. Broke.
So 28-7 now.
It doesn't look good there for Nick Rogers. I think his leg's in pretty bad shape. That's unfortunate. And, principal's going to take him out on the gator here. Yeah. We just got a good administration here at Pioneer. They do a nice job taking care of people. They take care of kids, and So.
Well, I mean, the neat thing for me is being my first game here at Pioneer. We got here early. I mean, really early to get things set up, and there was already people here. They were saving their spots in the bleachers. It's like, you don't take my spot.
I came up about 4:30 today after school, and I saw some blankets like tied down.
Yeah.
I don't remember that growing up playing here.
Yeah, so it's just a great big family, and I love the atmosphere here. Coming from where I came from as Culver Community, we weren't very good, and football wasn't really that big of a thing there, and it's neat to see. I always loved playing football as a kid and everything. We just weren't very good at it.
Yeah, they've had some decent teams over the years, and
that was way after me. Way after me. We were terrible.
Well, in the '80s, Pioneer struggled. If you look at the history books, but I've kind of done some history. I'm a history teacher, and I've look at the history of Pioneer football, and they were kind of late to the game. '79 was the first varsity year they did it, and in the '80s it was pretty struggle. It was a struggle. And it was a fight to get football here.
Mm-hmm.
And '76 was the first year they decided to start with junior high and move up.
Mm-hmm.
And the '80s, there were times where they said we're going to shut down the program because of the non-success, and it costs a lot of money to run a football field, take care of grass, buy pads, pay refs, all those things. And
right.
But
Velasquez with time running out, he's looking for somebody deep, and he can't get it, and that's going to do it for the first half. And kind of in your vein of talking about shutting the program down, we kind of went through the similar situation at Culver. They ended up not shutting the football down and then bringing in soccer.
Okay.
And try splitting these players up and then trying to field 2 teams in the fall, and that
it's
really
tough to do at a small school.
Yeah.
Run a couple, but I was at Caston when we started soccer and did football, and you have to be kind of okay with them playing both, and but right here is still kind of it's still a club. It's never been a full varsity sport here at Pioneer. It's still club, and just kind of the way it's been.
Well, and that's the school that my kids are at now, Argus, actually has stayed the other way. They started a soccer program 54 years ago, never did start a football program, so their soccer program is pretty legendary in the state.
Well, I've kind of talked to a lot of the old timers here, and they've said that it was a dog fight to get football started here because the school wanted a pool, and pools are expensive, and it's still expensive to keep it up. But basketball was really big here in the 60s and 70s. They had Dave Borman came in. He was a move-in in 70, I don't know, 75, 76 area. He tried out for the Atlanta Hawks. Pioneer Panthers don't have guys that try out for the Atlanta Hawks. And you start the football program in 76, and then 79 was the first season. It didn't have, we put in a Hall of Fame this year. Put in some guys from the beginning, Joe Pasquale, Rick Weaver. These guys were legendary here at the young start of the football program. And it just never seemed to take off in the 80s here. The 90s, it got a lot better. After Coach Johnson, after about 4 years, he probably struggled at first, and then he kind of found the wing tee through other coaches, and Bob Brock came in '94 and started on the defense, and he, I've had talks with him. He said it was just nice not to have to worry about the defense, because if you got to coach both sides of the ball, it's a lot of work in high school football, and I don't know if people understand that, but it's really difficult. It's nice to say you take the defense, I'll take the offense, and you kind of specialize in certain areas.
Right.
So,
all right. So we are at halftime here from the pit at Pioneer High School. Pioneer leading Lafayette Central Catholic 28-7. We're going to take a break, and I think you have some stats maybe we can grab a hold of and get some first half information. So we're going to take a break and be back here. You're watching RTC4.com. and Channel 4 in Rochester. And we appreciate you tuning in to tonight's coverage of the Sectional 42 championship between Lafayette and the Pioneer Panthers.
Got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, coverages now. I can help with this. Got zone coverage, man coverage, combo coverages.
I don't know, Peyton. I think more like the coverage your nationwide agent offers.
Oh, you want to go there? Home, auto, life, business, farm, boat, RV, ATV, camper, pet, motorcycle, your tour bus. Did I mention farm?
Contact Jennings Insurance Agency today or visit one of our offices in Argus and Rochester. Simplify your banking with a Simply Free checking account from First Federal Savings Bank.
All it takes is a $50 opening deposit. There's no minimum balance requirement and no service fees.
For a limited time, you'll also receive a free gift just for opening a checking account.
And with Instant Issue, we can give you a debit card when you open your account, giving you immediate access to your funds.
Simply Free checking from First Federal Savings Bank, a simpler way to bank.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
Hey football fans, Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester will give you $500 off any vehicle on their lot just for saying you saw the game here on RTC TV4. $500 off any vehicle on the lot just for seeing your team take home the sectional trophy. Drive a little, save a lot at Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester, where they treat you like family. Check out their inventory online at shepherdsrochester.com.
Slow download, constant buffering, Wi-Fi dead zone? Let RTC help. The customer support team at RTC Communications is here to help you with your internet connectivity.
Hi, I'm Bonnie, one of the support team members here at RTC. For a small fee, RTC offers a Wi-Fi health check where we will evaluate your in-home Wi-Fi network and assist you with common issues. See what RTC can do for you. Give us a call today.
Are you in pain from an injury or arthritis? What if there was a place that could meet all of your orthopedic needs? A place with some of the best orthopedic doctors and staff in the Midwest. A place where you're treated as a person instead of a patient. What if that place weren't in Chicago or Indianapolis? There is such a place. Rochester Orthopedics, your regional orthopedic specialist. When you're looking for comfort and relief, remember, trust the board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeons at Rochester Orthopedics.
All right, welcome back. We're at halftime here at the pit where the Pioneer Panthers lead Lafayette Central Catholic 28-7. And Casey, you got some stats here. I can tell you all 4 touchdowns Kaiser runs. And what else do we have?
Well, right now we got total yards here, and I think a majority of them are from Jack Kaiser and Danny Gregorich. But Llewellyn's had a few 10, 15, 20-yard gainers, and right now CC has they got 146 total yards. They're 10 for 17 for 148 passing, and they really haven't done much on the rushing, and they're -2. They have 6 rushes for -2 yards. And I think we talked at the beginning of the game, that's probably where they're not going to be as successful against Pioneer. They're going to be more successful throwing the ball because their offensive line is pretty solid. They always seem to block real well. When we look at the Pioneer Panthers stats here, we got 17 attempts for 142 yards rushing. Haven't passed the ball once. And so you got 192 total yards. And it's, they've done a pretty good job running the ball. I told you, I think we talked about it at the beginning too. It's a tale of 2 different team styles. CC's going to be a throw it around. They're great route runners. They're strong kids. They're tall, athletic. When I would go to coaching clinics, they say we want basketball players out there at receiver because they can jump, catch the ball. And Pioneer's going to be more power football, and so. Right now, again, CC's got 146 total yards, pretty much all passing, and Pioneer's got 192 yards rushing against CC's defense.
All right, so if we break it down drive by drive, the Panthers started off the game with a 9-play, 65-yard drive, capped off with a Kaiser touchdown, making it 7-0. Lafayette Catholic came right back and marched right down the field. But Kaiser intercepted in the end zone and sealed off any chance that the Knights had of scoring. Second drive for the Panthers, they went down another 9-play drive and another Kaiser touchdown. That was a 75-yard drive. Lafayette Catholic came back on the following drive and went 6 plays and about 65 yards and had a Turpin 10-yard receiving touchdown, making the score 14-7, and that was into the second quarter then. Pioneer came back, and that's when they lost the ball, their first turnover. And with the fumble, Lafayette Catholic got it with 6:55 left to go in the first half. And great sack on that drive by Mersch. Really put the Lafayette Catholic in behind an 8-ball, and the Panthers were able to stop them 3 and out and forced a punt. That punt was blocked by Ezra Llewellyn and gave the Pioneer Panthers the ball on Lafayette Catholic's 10-yard line. And that that drive ensued 2 plays with a 4-yard run by Jack Kaiser and resulting in a 21-7 score. On the next drive for the Knights, they would go 6 plays before ending up with a punt, and that one was blocked, kind of tipped, bad snap. They're having a lot of issues with their snaps on punts, and resulted the Panthers got the ball on the 21-yard line of Lafayette Catholic and marched it in for a touchdown. It ended on a 1-yard run by Jack Kaiser. And your halftime score is Pioneer 28 and Lafayette Catholic 7. So we got about 6 minutes left here before the start of the second half here from the pit at Pioneer High School. You're watching RTC4.com Sports. We'll be back here in just a few.
At First Federal Savings Bank, we can help you remodel your home, consolidate debt, or even provide some spending cash for you with our home equity line of credit.
Our standard home equity line of credit allows borrowers to draw funds for up to 10 years and comes with no closing costs for qualified customers.
Take advantage of this great opportunity. Contact one of our experienced mortgage lenders or apply online at firstfederalbanking.com.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
Townhome Furnishings in Rochester is the place to shop for all of your furniture needs. Sofas, recliners, love seats, dining sets, bedroom sets, mattresses, outdoor furniture, and more. All in your hometown. Stop out and see Don, Mary Kay, Linda, or Joe. They want to help you find the exact pieces to fit your needs. Shop online at townhomefurnishings.com.
Hometown service, town home style, town home furnishings.
Hey everybody, I got exciting news. Country Lanes has a new state-of-the-art scoring system.
Come out, let your kids be mesmerized by the animated backgrounds. Take a safari trip to Jungle Jive or an outer space adventure in Cosmic Crush. Themes like the Kecklers or High Seas will entertain your little ones for hours. Choose extreme sports or click on Ninja Strike for martial arts. This high-spirited atmosphere is way cheaper than Cedar Point. Come out and visit Country Lanes for all your bowling fun.
Protect yourself from personal attack on campus, in the home, at the mall, or wherever you are. Blue Dragon Taekwondo in Rochester is offering a self-defense boot camp so that you have the basic skills to protect yourself in an attack. Blue Dragon is the area's leading martial arts facility. Master instructor Dave Colger and his team welcome new participants and those seeking to learn the basic self-defense techniques. Contact Blue Dragon Taekwondo today to learn more about this exciting self-defense boot camp. Over the past few years, RTC TV4 has produced over 1,800 local videos about you, your family, your friends, your neighbors. Now all of these videos are available at the click of a mouse on our website, rtc4.com. Log on today to see all of our great coverage of sporting events, school programs, public meetings, and more. RTC TV4 and rtc4.com. See for yourself. Hey football fans, Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester will give you $500 off any vehicle on their lot just for saying you saw the game here on RTC TV4. $500 off any vehicle on the lot just for seeing your team take home the sectional trophy. Drive a little, save a lot at Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester, where they treat you like family. Check out their inventory online at shepherdsrochester.com.
Got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, coverages now. I can help with this. Got zone coverage, man coverage, combo coverages.
I don't know, Peyton. I think more like the coverage your nationwide agent offers.
Oh, you want to go there? Home, auto, life, business, farm, boat, RV, ATV, camper, pet, motorcycle, your tour bus. Right. Did I mention farm?
Contact Jennings Insurance Agency today or visit one of our offices in Argus and Rochester.
All right, welcome back here to the pit at Pioneer High School. Getting ready for second half action here where the Pioneer Panthers are leading 28-7 in the sectional championship game here over the Lafayette Central Catholic Knights. Steve Stricker here alongside Casey Hines on the call for you tonight. Thanks for tuning in to RTC4.com. Scott Sager running the camera for us tonight, doing all the hard work. Although he has a brat, didn't bring us any up here. Oh, man. But he's been out there suffering in the cold, so I guess I can't complain too much, huh, Casey?
Well, you know, I just wanted to give a shout-out to Scott. I talked to him about a month or so ago, and I said, you know, if we could follow Pioneer in the tournament, I think there would be a lot of people who would be really thankful. And he was able to put that together, and I was real happy that he brought his crew down here, and he does a nice job. He's a one-man show, man. This guy is talented.
Yeah,
he's talking about like nuclear reactors up here and stuff, and I just got no idea what he's talking about, but it works. You know, it works. So no complaints. I haven't got any complaints on my phone, so that's good.
Yeah, I've been working with Scott now for 2 seasons. We did soccer and basketball last year. Did a full season of Argus soccer here this year, and just started last night on the basketball floor here with the Dragons. And yeah, it's been great working with Scott and everybody down there at RTC. They've been fantastic for us. So I'm double dealing here.
I was surprised when he came up here and he's talking about the signal. I was like, you know, I've been webcasting games for 6-7 years up here, and a strong signal was not a word that I ever heard up here. My phone never worked. It was a dead zone, and Scott, you know, that's talent if you can get something working up here. And this 1976 press box. So.
Well, and update before we get going here, the score at halftime at LaVille is 3-0. The Lancers are leading Triton. The winner of that game will advance to play the winner of this game here this evening.
I got a Southwood score. They're up 35-12. I'm not sure who they're playing. It might be. I'm not
Adam.
sure.
I think I think they're one of the Adams. Yeah, because
no, probably South Adams or Adams Central. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's one of the Adams schools because I got some friends that have kids at Busco, and they had a really good year, but they got knocked out.
I saw them at Wing T camp this summer, and they had some solid kids. Busco did.
So here we go, second half getting set to go. Panthers kicking off to Lafayette, and it's a short one, going to be fielded at the 35, and the up man's just going to go down to a knee. So the Lafayette Catholic Knights are going to start at the 35-yard line of the Panthers to get the second half underway.
You never count out CC. They got so many weapons. They got tall, strong receivers, good quarterback. You know, and I was kind of talking to some guys at halftime here up here in the booth, and you know, the quarterback, when he gets time, he's pretty deadly.
Oh, yeah. We saw that really in that first – really, they should have had that first drive. I mean, Kaiser saved them on that, and very well could be just a 14-point game right now.
So Southwood's up on Adams Central.
Adams Central,
is who they're playing. And
there's a play over to the right and a missed tackle, and this is going to go for about 8 for Lafayette Catholic, and that's a missed tackle there for the Panthers to start off the second half.
Well, you know, really, you know, those kind of things drive defensive coordinators nuts, but it's a one-on-one tackle, and sometimes you get beat. Luckily, Pioneer pursues really well, and they take good angles to fly to the football. We used to call it gang tackling.
Right.
Get there in a hurry, and when I used to coach defense, I say, if you're a third or fourth guy there, start yanking the ball out. So
there's an inside handoff, and that's going to be good for about 6 and a first down for LCC already at the 49-yard line of the Panthers here in 2 plays. So like you said, you know, you cannot rest on LCC. They have the firepower and the type of game that would be conducive to a second-half comeback. If anybody's going to do it, LCC can.
Well, they come out in this 2-by-2 set here, and offset the fullback to the right up here on the top of the screen.
All right, Velasquez, and he's going to do another inside handoff, and right now that's working for about 3 yards. They're getting 3 to 4 yards a pop right there on that inside handoff, and I got a feeling they're gonna run that 4 or 5 times and get everybody sucked down, and then all of a sudden you're going to see them drop back and make a pass.
Yeah, I think you're right there. You put your linebackers in a little bit of conflict there, and they got their read keys, right? And they got to make sure they read their keys, and now looks like CC's kind of in a passing.
All right, here's the pass out of the gun. Velasquez with lots of time. Oh, he had a guy wide open at the 35, and he just dropped it.
Jack Hudson, 16, kind of running a little in route there, and just kind of maybe started running before he caught it.
Well, that was a 20-yard rocket right there by Velasquez. That thing hit hard off of his gut.
Yeah.
And fortunately for the Panthers, he had some room right there if he catches that ball, and maybe that's what he did. He saw that and didn't look it in. So
I'm just glad to see that Pioneers got some extra linemen out there, because I know, unfortunately, I think Nick Rogers, number 55, is not going to be coming back. I think he hurt his leg pretty bad.
Third down play. And the pass is short, and it's going to come up incomplete for LCC, so it's going to be 4th down. And here comes a punt for the Knights. And
I don't trust it.
You don't. It's a spot, I guess. If you're down 21 in the sectional championship, here's a spot to take a chance, and Pioneers got to stay aware.
Yeah. Last year, one of the biggest plays is Pioneer had a young kid named Miles Montobo that caught a guy on a fake punt, and it was a game-changing tackle.
So the snap, and they are punting, and it's going to roll down. Kaiser's going to let it go inside the 10. It looks like it's going to drop at about the 7, and Pioneer will take over right there. So a 4-play drive ends in a LCC punt to start the second half. So the Panthers looking to capitalize the nice defensive stop there for Pioneer. Let's see what they can do here on the ensuing first drive of the half for them.
Well, I think if you keep running off tackle, you're having quite a bit of success with that. And you got to keep continuing to eat that clock away, because CC's so dangerous. Keep the chains moving, move the ball 3.5, 4 yards.
And a big run off the right side by Kaiser. He's still on his feet. He's at the 40, the 45, he's at the 50, 55, 30. He might go all the way. And the last chance effort right there. Kaiser with a huge run. He's going to go 88 yards for the touchdown on the first play from scrimmage of the second half. Jack Kaiser takes it all the way to the house for the Panthers, puts them up 34-7. And that drive was a 1-play, 16-second drive, Casey.
Well, I did not think that was going to come out happening, but, you know, when you have a guy that can make those kind of moves and is that quick, you know, you're not going to have a young safety or a kid be able to tackle Jack Kaiser. He's just going to be dragging him.
Yeah, I'd hate to be that kid right there trying to make that tackle after he'd already gone about 45 yards.
It looked like number 29, Scott Lovell, a junior, 5'9", 130. He's gonna have a hard time.
He didn't even get a hand on him, much less try and take him down. So the extra point is good. With 10:22 left to go in the third, Pioneer moves up 35-7 over LCC.
Well, that was just a kind of a really important come out second half. You kind of put that dagger in. It makes the Panther fans feel a lot better.
All right, so we're going to take a break here before the kickoff, and we'll come back here from the pit where the Panthers lead 35-7.
Got that new home edition and you're keeping it covered.
Ooh, coverages now. I can help with this. Got zone coverage, man coverage, combo coverages.
I don't know, Peyton. I think more like the coverage your Nationwide agent offers.
Oh, you want to go there. Home, auto, life, business, farm, boat, RV, ATV, camper, pet, motorcycle, your tour bus. Did I mention farm?
Contact Jennings Insurance Agency today or visit one of our offices in Argus and Rochester.
All right, welcome back here to the pit. The Panthers getting ready to kick off after the huge 88-yard touchdown run by Jack Kaiser. Puts the Panthers ahead 35-7 here in the early going of the second half. Like you said, Casey, the Pioneer fans are feeling good right now. You kind of a little bit nervous coming out. You know, you're only up 21, and you know that LCC has a potent offense.
Oh, absolutely. They've just always been dangerous. I mean, look at.
And the kickoff gets run back, and he's down right at the 30-yard line. So LCC is going to start right there at Pioneers 30 with 10:15 left here in the third quarter.
35-7 here. And CC, you know, that's tough because they just come out and Jack just kind of ran one down their throat, and they're probably going to have to go back to kind of passing it all over the field a little bit because that's going to be their only weapon to make some quick hits coming out.
All right, well, Velasquez is out. He's got one back in front of him, and he's got the two wides on both sides. And there's a short pass, and it's completed to the far sideline, and it looks like about 5 yards for LCC. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 5. They're on the 30, it looks like about the 33.
Gain of 4 yards on the play.
2nd and 6, gain of 4.
You get 2nd down, 6 yards to go.
So I think Pioneer is going to be more than happy to oblige if they're going to do short passing like that, and they can limit them to a 4 or 5 yard gain.
Well, sure, if you keep that clock moving, keep them in bounds, keep the ball in front of you, I think as a defensive coordinator, you got to be, happy with that.
Velasquez back again. He's got 4 receivers out in the set, and that's going to be caught on the far side.
That's a really pretty catch right there. That's a solid 83 there. David Schwartz, 6'2", junior, and keeping his feet in there. That was pretty textbook right there.
That's going to be good for a LCC 1st down. It's going to be on the 43-yard line of Pioneer. 1st and 10 with 9:25 left to go here in the third quarter.
They're really good at those kind of comeback routes. When they're talking about the sticks, you're trying to get to the 10, get your 1st down marker. They're running this play a little bit, the jet play, and
boom! Big hit.
Nathan
Johnson.
Wow,
Johnson comes up and sticks him after a 2-yard gain. Wow, you can hear that one up here with the headset on. That was a big hit right there.
If you get a safety to come down and fill the alley like that's a good thing to have, Steve, because you got a kid that's coming down like a missile. We used to say this a lot. I go to clinics, kids that play with a high motor, their motor's running, and that was a great, probably one of the biggest hits I've seen this year from Nate Johnson. Nice job.
5'9", 176 senior for the Panthers, and he put a licking on the LCC running back. And here's a little short pass, dump pass, and he's brought down after about a 5-yard gain. There's a flag on the field.
I think I might go against the Panthers there. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see what the official call is here. Personal foul, and that is going to be on the Panthers. So the first foul of the game that goes on the Panthers. And that's going to go for 15 yards for LCC.
Yeah, it's hard to see sometimes on the other side of the field, why the ref might see that.
Really, the only thing I saw was he kind of came down and threw him. I don't know if that's something you can't do anymore. I know when we were playing that was kind of encouraged, but they've changed.
Sometimes it seems like when a kid – catches the ball and he's on the ground, if a guy jumps on like a pylon almost, sometimes the refs are pretty quick with the flag on those. I might have been that. You might have been right on that. I wasn't sure. I couldn't see it real well.
All right, so Lafayette at the 38-yard line. They're going to do an inside handoff, and it's going to go for about 5 here for Lafayette Catholic. Down to the Panthers' 34-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down and about 6. So a long drive right now, 5 plays for LCC, but right now the clock is on the side of the Panthers. They can handle it if they're going to get 4 or 5 yards a pop and take a 9-10 play drive. It's not going to really hurt the Panthers a whole lot.
No, you're right. You know, and it looks like they're walking up Danny Gregorich here and maybe kind of a blitz.
And they're going to try to bounce it out to the right, and he's going to be close. Looks like maybe a yard short of the first down. Can't quite tell from this angle, but I think he's going to be just a bit shy.
And one of the things how the game's changed a little bit is, you know, back in the 80s and even in the 90s, you tried to funnel everything inside. Pioneers' defense is more of a spill everything to the outside and will get pursuit angles. They gap exchange things. And a gap exchange is basically the defensive end can kind of go in, the outside backer takes his gap. And so you have a lot – that's how that safety can come downhill, and that's how your outside backers can play contain.
All right, they're going to try going up the middle, and right now is the second effort. I don't think he got there. I think he's going to be short. And, of course, you know, at this point it's going to be a 4-down territory. And, yeah, talking about that, I mean, that was exactly what I did. I was a defensive end, and that was my job. I contained. Contained. You know, you don't let anything outside no matter what.
That's a different philosophy that's changed at the game now, and even a lot of, like, coaches you run into are still uncomfortable with that because your defensive end is now closing inside, and he spills it to the outside backer in a 4-3 defense, and Pioneers been doing that for a while.
Okay, Lafayette Catholic's going to take a timeout with 7:14 left to go here in the third. Big 4th and 1 for the Knights. So we're going to take a quick break and be back here in just a second, see if Pioneer can hold on a big 4th down play.
Simplify your banking with a Simply Free checking account from First Federal Savings Bank.
All it takes is a $50 opening deposit. There's no minimum balance requirement and no service fees.
For a limited time, you'll also receive a free gift just for opening a checking account.
And with Instant Issue, we can give you a debit card when you open your account, giving you immediate access to your funds.
Simply Free checking from First Federal Savings Bank, a simpler way to bank.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
Okay, here we go. Big 4th down play here coming up for Lafayette Catholic, down 35-7 with 7:14 left to go in the third quarter. They've got to get a stop here. The Panthers, 4th and just a little over a yard. I think they're going to call it 2 yards here for Lafayette Catholic. So
Pioneer fans are kind of getting up here. And, you know, this is a big play for CC. If they want to stay in any chance of this game, they're going to have to make this conversion here.
All right, Velasquez under center, kind of rare for him. It looks like they might be trying either a draw or a sneak right up the middle, and it's a pass. He doesn't have anybody there, and he's going to be taken down. No, knocked down on the play. Great play that time by Nate Johnson. He's had a big series right there for the Panthers, and he knocks down that pass.
He read that route. I was kind of shocked CC came out with that. And, you know, you roll your quarterback out to the left side because he's left-handed, right? And you roll it to the field. And Nate Johnson just stuck on that guy and came out and used that left paw to knock that ball down on that pass. And I'm not sure he would have caught it anyways because it would have been a tough catch. And, gosh, you know, Nate Johnson is coming alive here in the second half for sure.
All right, so Pioneer's going to start on the LCC 30-yard line here with 7:05 left to go in the third. And they've come out, and the defense has really stiffened up here in the second half for Pioneer. And they're going to take it, and a nice run there off to the right side for about 6 for Kaiser. And Pioneer's going to take that all night long here if they can just kind of run it out 5-6 yards. You know, going back to that Lafayette Catholic 4th down play, you know, they've been getting yardage on the little inside handoffs right there. And I know, you know, 4th down, it's a lot different. But, yeah, I'm kind of surprised they went away from that because it had been working for them.
Yeah, sometimes coaches get a little fancy.
Yeah, maybe overthought themselves.
You overthink it sometimes. And you think, well, they wouldn't be expecting this, and you know, I don't think it was a bad play. He probably sometimes you can roll out your quarterback on those 3rd and 4th and shorts, Yeah, like a hit there. But sometimes you could roll your quarterback out, and he has that run, or they call it RPO. That's kind of the
Run
new
pass
coin,
option, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
that new term that they're using now with spread teams especially. And your quarterback can usually gain 4 or 5 yards of gash and gash them. But so
I love that. That's Pioneer first down, and the crowd's really getting into it with 6 minutes left here in the third. And the Panthers are looking to put the nail in the coffin, so to speak, here with a 28-point lead. And if they can drive this ball down and take a lot of time off the clock here, it's going to be – there's an inside handoff and a big run for Gregorich. No, that's 14. Van Tobel, the sophomore, with a big run for the Panthers, gets it all the way down to the Lafayette Catholic 35-yard line.
I think the CC defense, to me, they look a little bit tired. You know, they don't look as enthusiastic. Pioneers kind of got that momentum going for them right now, and they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, the wind is kind of going out of the sails, so to speak, of the Knights. And, yeah, I was kind of shocked there. I saw the 4, and I was expecting the 2 on the other side, and it was a 1. Von Tobel with a big run there for the Panthers.
He's ran some receiver for him this year. He runs some quarterback. He ran quarterback at Wing T camp, and he's doing a lot of different things. Pioneer with the trap play there. CC is on top of that. They're handling that real well. That means that defensive tackle and that end are squeezing down pretty good. So the defense, I think, has suffered when Kevin O'Shea was the offensive coach and he was the head coach, but his brother was a really good defensive coordinator. He's a 5'2" guy. They were a slanting, wrecking crew type defense. They created a lot of problems for the Wing T. And when Kevin O'Shea left, I think the defense kind of has suffered a little bit because of that. Because his brother gave it up too.
Kaiser under center. He's going to, almost looked like he was going to throw it. And he decides to take a run. He's going to get about 5 on the play.
Looked like number 10 there. Nate Johnson was kind of wide open. Gosh, we've been saying that name a lot.
He has come out in the second half, 2 big defensive plays, and really been impressive here in the second half. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 now for the Panthers from the Lafayette Catholic 29-yard line. And
I think one of the things, maybe when you look at Pioneer, they're not impressively big, but they're just really well coached, and they use angles really well in the offense, shoulder blocking, things like that. They do really well.
Kaiser's going to go off the right side right there in the A gap, and looks like he might have enough for a 1st down.
You told me you had called a football game before. You're doing a nice job calling it. Well, you played football. You could call a game, no problem.
Yeah, I played football. I've called games. I guess you just translated into football talk. But I didn't want to admit it, but it is my first call of a football game, and man, I'm really enjoying it. I like it, and it's easy when it's something you know.
Well, we used to do these webcasts up here, and Pioneer would kind of blow out people in the second half. You're talking about the weather,
right.
Different things up here, trying to.
Well, and we've had that experience over the last couple seasons with our. There's a big run by Llewellyn. He's going to go all the way down inside the 5-yard line. Big run there by Ezra Llewellyn for Pioneer. So they're knocking on the door again. They got a 1st and goal. But, yeah, when you I know the lopsided games, our girls basketball team, that's our main coverage, obviously, because I have a daughter that plays. But, they've been really good the last couple of years. Went to state 2 years ago. And I tell you what, when you're winning by 40, it makes it hard to call that game.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, there's another steal, another layup, another steal, another layup. It's like
sure.
You find it hard to really get excited about it after a while. But, yeah, this is great. I love football. I grew up, started playing in 5th grade. And like I said, it's in my blood, and this is fun. So there's a big run by Gregorich. You got it? Gregorich?
Yeah, Gregorich, you got it.
Got
That's
it.
Good. Yeah,
I told you. Only took me until the 3rd quarter.
That's all right.
But, yeah, I tell you the one thing that –
Hey, I've been a teacher, man. I've been a teacher for quite a while, and there's a lot of kids I still don't know their name. I got to be honest. All year.
Yeah, and I'm really bad about that.
Hey, you, go get that pencil sharpened.
You know, my regular day job is sales, and you know, you think that would be a good thing to do. It'd be no names and stuff, but I'm really bad about that. And I coach girls basketball at Argus, and you know, I do. It takes me until about the middle of the season before I know all the girls' names.
A little off tackle there to Gregorich, and
he's going to keep going, and nope, he's going to get pushed back from about the 2-yard line. Looks like, well, maybe closer than that. The ref on the near side.
They brought the brigade there. A couple guys come up and stuff him, and you know, I think, you know, they probably want to get Gregorich a touchdown today.
All right, here comes the Panthers getting to the line quick. They're going to try and catch Lafayette napping.
Looks like Jack's calling an audible here. We'll check with me is what they call that.
They're in tight. He gives the Gregorich right up the gut, and he goes in for the touchdown, 1-yard touchdown. Danny Gregorich, and he puts the Panthers up 41-7, pending the extra point.
You know, I didn't know what to expect tonight. I've seen a lot of really good signs of this Pioneer team this year. I've seen some things they need to work on also, but I haven't seen CC play. They always play those really dangerous opponents, and they always play them well.
Right.
So
perfect snap, but it's going to go wide left. Wide left, no good. So we're going to stay at 41-7. And Casey, I don't know that 1 point is going to hurt them a whole lot.
I don't think so. Hopefully not, you know.
Yeah, if they come back and win 42-41, then that's going to be sad. But with 1:31 left to go in the third, Pioneer all over the Lafayette Catholic Knights here from the pit. So we're going to take a break and be back here on RTC4.com here after a quick break.
Hey, football fans, Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester will give you $500 off any vehicle on their lot just for saying you saw the game here on RTC TV4. $500 off any vehicle on the lot just for seeing your team take home the sectional trophy. Drive a little, save a lot at Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester, where they treat you like family. Check out their inventory online at shepherdsrochester.com.
All right, welcome back here to the pit at Pioneer High School. Panthers are up 41-7 over the Lafayette Catholic Knights, and they're getting ready to kick off.
He's got a Laville score, I think.
Loosebound to kick for Pioneer. Bill 10, Clark 7. Turpin deep to receive.
10-7 Laville over Triton.
Over Triton, 5 minutes left in the fourth.
With 5 minutes left in the game. So the winner here, which very well could be Pioneer, looking like they might be heading up to Laville. I know they said if Triton won, it was going to be at Triton.
Turpin with the return.
Yeah,
I don't know if
Pioneers
Laville
played
wins.
two home games, the last 2 games, so they're going to be on the road.
Well, Laville's had 2 home games too, so I think then it goes to the bottom of the bracket.
bottom of the bracket, yeah.
I have to look and see who that is, because Laville was at home last week. They played Culver Community, and that was a disappointing game for the Cavs. They were up 16-0 going into the fourth quarter and lost 19-16.
I really like Coach Zahner. I've talked to him a few times, and he does a nice job up there at Culver.
Yeah, I don't know him. I know a lot of the Zahners. There's a sack for the Panthers.
That was kind of a fluke sack, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he was trying to kind of escape, and it looked like maybe he got a shoestring or something right there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be honest. The field has never been in great shape. The joke was it used to be a hog lot, and probably in the 40s. But it's got ruts, and it needs a lot of work.
Oh, big play over the middle, and there's a hit by Kaiser, and incomplete pass.
There's a lot of ruts in it and a lot of bare spots, and a lot of teams are going to turf. I'm not completely sold on it. It's really hot in the summer. It gains a lot of degrees on it.
Yeah.
I like grass if it's taken care of, but this grass needs a lot of work, and to keep kids safe, I think that would be the big thing, to keep your fields. A lot of high schools don't want to spend the money for turf because it's an $800,000 to $1 million investment.
Right,
so.
right. So there's a 3rd and 16 now for the Knights, and they're going to try a reverse. They're going to go around the right, and there's nobody home right now for the Panthers, and they're going to get the
might be a horse collar.
Yeah, that's going to either be a horse collar. It might have been a face mask. Couldn't tell where he had his hands, but there's a flag on the field. And,
well,
big gainer on the reverse for the Lafayette Knights.
They've ran that play, and so Pioneer probably assumed that was coming again, and then they throw the reverse on him and kind of shocked Pioneer a little bit on that. But you know what? You still got the tackle, even though you got a penalty. Nothing to be getting spooked about yet. Nothing big, you know.
Oh, they got a lot of cushion, and Lafayette Catholic has not shown being able to sustain any kind of drive here in the second half.
And as coaches, and you know this, a lot of times you got to preach calm. You know, be the calm voice, because you got emotional kids out there that make plays and get upset and things, because things, you know, no big deal. I don't think that's a big deal for Pioneer.
Velasquez back to throw, and he skips it off the turf, so it's going to bring up a 2nd down here for LCC. They're starting out. They're at the 45-yard line right now of Pioneer. 2nd down and 10. We've got 25.7 seconds left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, if they're going to keep throwing, going to string this game along, it's probably what they're going to keep doing. You know, if they think they got a shot still here. Time's not on their side, though.
All right, Velasquez out of the pistol. He got motion to the left. He's going to look over to the left, go back to the right, and he's got a backer on the right-hand side, and he's going to go for about 7 yards, it looks like.
Looked like a little screenplay there, because they had some linemen downfield, it looked like to me. Can't usually send linemen downfield unless it's a screen play or a run, but looked like a screen to me.
All right, that's going to bring up 3rd and 4, and that's going to do it here for the 3rd quarter, where the Panthers lead after 3, 41-7 over Lafayette Central Catholic. We'll take a break and come back for 4th quarter action here from the pit. You're watching RTC4.com and Channel 4 in Rochester.
Slow download, constant buffering, Wi-Fi dead zone? Let RTC help. The customer support team at RTC Communications is here to help you with your internet connectivity.
Hi, I'm Bonnie, one of the support team members here at RTC. For a small fee, RTC offers a Wi-Fi health check where we will evaluate your in-home Wi-Fi network and assist you with common issues. See what RTC can do for you. Give us a call today.
All right, we got 12 minutes to go here from the pit. Pioneer leads 41-7 over Lafayette Catholic. They are 12 minutes away from their 5th straight, I believe, sectional title. Is that correct?
He hasn't exited the facility yet. He's just
and you know, we used to play CC first game of the season, and then now we play Lewis Cass's local Cass County team, and Cass has been very successful, and CC's been in our sectional quite a bit, and they've always kind of been that problem, you know, for us. But it'd be nice to see Pioneer get that other sectional. It's a fun trophy, and then you get the regional one, and it's just a little
plaque.
Little plaque, you know.
Right.
It doesn't feel as nice to be. Your look is cool, but.
Yeah, that's we found that out 2 years ago when the girls won the regional, and I was expecting a trophy presentation, and they come out with this little placard that goes on. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I said, no, that just goes on the front of the sectional. It says region, and the semi-state's the same thing.
Yeah.
Instead of regional, it says regional and semi-state, and it
just
goes
that's
on the
right.
same trophy.
Yeah.
So
when you get to the state finals, you got a nice trophy in the trophy case at Pioneer. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, you had that, and last year they got the smaller version of that, which is what we've got at Argus for the girls for 2 years ago. We got the smaller one.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same flag. It's the state of Indiana with the, you know, but it's just smaller, condensed.
I've actually held the football one here, and it's heavy.
For the runner-up one was?
No, the state title one.
Yeah, the state one's big.
Yeah.
And then the runner-up is the same thing. It's just kind of condensed.
Yeah.
At least that's what it was for the girls for the basketball.
Yeah.
Oh!
Wow, Jason
Almost.
As Jason Mersch just kind of seeing that back go out and kind of running with him.
There was nothing in front of him but green grass and a line at the end of the end zone.
Yeah.
He was gone.
Jason's just a defensive player. And sometimes you get players like that just are really special on one side of the ball, and they have no interest in playing on the other side of the ball.
Yeah.
And he's kind of one of those guys, and he's just got a motor on defense. And a lot of those Panthers out there playing.
Well, that's a luxury you don't have as much here in the small school division. You know, I know that well. I don't think I ever went out of the game from my sophomore year on. There's a big pass. It's going to be picked by and they're going to call, looks like pass interference maybe on Llewellyn on that.
That's all right. You know, those are things that these are kind of things you can kind of learn from right now. These kind of penalties. It's
well, my question is, and I don't know, it doesn't look like they're going to pick it up, but was that even a catchable ball for the receiver?
That's what I think they're probably going to.
It was 10 yards. It was 10 yards away from the receiver.
Pioneer's probably going to argue that, but that they're probably thinking the reason that ball was a duck was because Pioneers smacked the quarterback pretty good back. I mean, they got a nice hit on him, but I don't know if that affects that call or how that works. Usually when you get in the tournament, you like to keep the flags in the pocket. If you're a fan and you're a coach, you like to see the refs kind of let them play, do some things. But actually, you know, I don't have too many complaints about the officials tonight.
No, and that's really, I think, the second call against Pioneer all night.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's only been like 4 flags all night.
I used to kind of chew on refs, and then I kind of learned my lesson. And you're young coaches, you're like, well, they're human too, and they don't get paid a lot, and they deserve some respect. And, you know, people get emotional, you know, during these games.
Yeah, you got to keep those emotions in check. I kind of learned that the hard way. About my second game I ever coached, I got teed up and almost kicked out of a game.
Yeah.
And there's a play, good pass play there for about 4 yards for Lafayette Catholic. They're going to move down to the 15-yard line of the Panthers, and it's going to bring up second down and about 6, I think.
The only thing to me that was always kind of odd, you know, was when you would go to some really big CC Pioneer games over the years, the CC never brought much of a crowd.
Yeah.
It was always odd to me.
Yeah.
But they got an okay crowd tonight for them. But
there's a pass completed, and he's going to get drilled right at the 10-yard line. And it's going to be right there. I don't know whether they're going to have enough for a first.
3rd down, 1 to go.
3rd and 1 is going to be the call on that, and you know that's kind of indicative of what, you know, with the private schools. You know, Marquette Catholic in our regional, they didn't really have, you know, there's just not the community following behind them usually that there is with you know, the Pioneers and the Arguses and the Culvers and those.
Yeah.
Incomplete pass in the end zone for Velasquez, and it's going to bring up 4th and 1, and Lafayette Catholic, I'm sure, is going to go for it here, down 41-7.
This is you know, I grew up in this town. It's a pretty small town, about 900 people. I mean, you got a couple small towns that kind of feed into the school system. But they, in 2000, 2001, they invested in the weight room, put a lot of money into that, put a new gym in, and football has been a big impact on this community, especially in the last 20 years with the state title in '97, and then it's just they bring a good following. So that's actually a nice little play there by CC to run it in there, 28. He's got some wheels. That's Jordan Turpin, 5'8", 160 senior.
Well, we got a flag down on the field, it looks like. And they haven't indicated a touchdown, so it looks like there might be a penalty on the Knights, and that would bring up a redo of 4th down.
I think so.
So I'm looking here at the bracket. If Pioneer wins and LaVille pulls out the win against Triton, if I'm reading this right, they will have a home regional.
Okay.
Because it says the higher of the sectional, the non-host, or the higher of the two sectionals. So LaVille is hosting Triton. We're hosting Lafayette. So we're sectional 42, they're sectional 41. So my interpretation would be if LaVille wins, I know if Triton wins, it would be there because they're the non-host.
Do we have a LaVille final yet? You might have to ask.
Yeah, I'll have to. Scott's down there. What's he pointing now? I can't read that. He's trying to point something. So they're going to go for the field goal here.
They always have good kickers.
And they put it through. Oh, wait, what?
Should be 41-10. Wait. Oh.
They picked up the flag.
Okay, they picked up.
Well, we were yapping about.
I know. I was.
And they
I wasn't
picked
even
up
looking. I was looking at the other end.
Okay, Scott, I see it. 10-7 with 53 seconds left at LaVille, and all right, that's pretty neat. There, he's got the film on his phone of the Triton LaVille game.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so talented.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's just improvising right there. Okay, so while we were yapping, the officials picked up the flag, and that wasn't a field goal. That was an extra point. So your score right now is 41-14 with 9:51 left to go here in the game. So,
well, I guess now that the game's, kind of Channel 18 out of Lafayette is kind of our local station. They do a kind of a Friday night frenzy deal. And one of the CC players was interviewed, and I teach middle school, and I'm around high schoolers, and they aren't trained in the media. And one of the kids from CC said, "We're going to run it down Pioneer's throat." And those things are just kind of tough.
Yeah.
Because you got to kind of teach kids how to be tactful.
Right.
And not say those things, but coaches kind of are adults and they learn how to say those things in a nicer way. And you might use that in the locker room, but that's not really
interview material.
Not interview material. And Pioneer used it as locker room material this week for sure.
Well, right now, Lafayette Catholic is down 41-14. We still have almost 10 minutes left here.
Now, I got some discrepancies here. My buddy says that Triton is up 21-7 on LaVille. What do you got?
10-7, LaVille.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. That was the feed from the LaVille.
Their webcast.
They're filming LaVille's.
I don't know what.
They have a student webcast up there.
Yeah, we've watched those. I don't know.
42-yard line. So the onside kick attempt for Lafayette Catholic was recovered by the Panthers. And right there, Scott brings it up again. 12 seconds to go. LaVille 10, Triton 7.
He said it was wrong.
Yeah.
I got to fact check a little better. Fake news, right?
Yeah, right there, 3-2-1. And the final score from LaVille, 10-7. LaVille Lancers win the sectional. And Llewellyn's coming off the left side. He's going through two arm tackles. He's still going all the way down to the 43-yard line. 37-yard line, going backwards, sorry, of Lafayette Catholic. So a big, strong run right there by Ezra Llewellyn of the Pioneer Panthers. Brings up first down.
I remember kind of talking about that earlier, that it's good to see the Llewellyn boys. I was kind of earlier in the year, kind of felt like they were a little bit not as good inside the tackles running the ball.
Right.
Because you run some counters in this offense. They can go inside, C-gap counters and stuff and B-gap counters, but they've gotten better to run the ball and not get tackled.
Mersch going out wide right, and he's brought down after a gain of about 5.
Yeah, that's jet sweep. That's a kind of a staple wing T play. I really enjoy that play. I like it a lot. I think it hits quick, makes your safeties rotate down, and then come back with counters or waggles and things like that.
Make it 2nd down and 5 for Pioneer.
Von Tobel is going to check back in. Mersch is going to take a break. And Pioneer in no hurry with 8:38 left to go, 2nd and 5. They're on Lafayette Catholic's side of the field here. And if they can punch one in, run about 3 or 4 minutes off the clock, they're going to be in really good shape. There's a nice counter. Ezra coming off to the left, and he gets around the corner and gets around, and he goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line, it looks like, of the Knights. Another big run there for Llewellyn.
Well, jet sweep coming to the field. I like that call there by Coach Berry, a couple jet sweeps, bringing them back. You see that a little bit in the college game, the full speed motion behind the quarterback. Sometimes to get the defense to rotate and kind of see what you're getting, and that's nice to see. I think those boys would be real good at that play.
Llewellyn with a couple nice runs on this drive right here, and Pioneer knocking on the door again. They're at the LCC 15, and a little counter play inside. And there goes Mersch, and he's going to get in for the touchdown. Austin Mersch, 5'7", 160 senior for Pioneer, and he punches it in from 15 yards out.
He is so quick. It's fun to watch him run. Danny's more of a power runner back there at fullback, but when they put Mersch in there, he's just got another quickness that is nice to see, another nice changeup.
Yeah, you know, you talk about having that extra gear, you know, popping it up into overdrive, and, man, once he hit that hole, he was gone.
Yeah. And they talked about that play when I sat down with Coach Berkshire this week. They were back trap. They call it just a guard trap play, staple play, basically any offense.
PAT is good, bringing the score 48-14. Pioneer looking like they're going to move on with 8:14 left to go here in the game. Lead by 34 points over LCC. And if I read my IHSAA rulebook correctly here a minute ago, I am thinking that there will be a home game next weekend here for the Panthers in the regional round. Don't hold me to that.
I won't hold you to it because I get confused looking at that stuff. Just tell me where to be and, you know, where to go. So,
well,
the coaches, when the coaches are going down with the headsets from the booth, that's a good sign.
Yeah,
you know, they're going down early. So I know Aaron Kreiser and John Christie were up here for Pioneer, and you know they both are volunteers to the program, and you know I think this year. You know, there's a lot of expectations because Pioneer, you know, made it to the state finals last year, got state runner-up, and, you know, played a tough team last year as Linton, and probably, you know, there's a lot of high expectations here because, you know, this town kind of got spoiled with really good football for the last 20 years, and so it's almost, you know, an expectation that we're going to play. We want to go again,
right.
You know, and they work hard for it, though. There's no doubt about it.
Right. It's a year-round process to get the team ready, and they work hard all summer. There's a big run back for LCC. He's going to get over the 50, and he's going to go down at about the 47-yard line of Pioneer. Big run back that time for the Knights. That was number 5, wasn't it?
I think sometimes
Clark?
If you get into the game and you got big leads, you start putting in some different players on kickoffs and kick returns and things. And I think it looks like Pioneer's going to go with some younger kids now. It looks like there's some younger guys on the D-line. It's like 61, Juan Solano. Got a couple other ones in there that Danny's, Greg Rich and Kaiser are still in there, but, you know, they might start pulling them out a little bit.
Velasquez,
really
nice pass over. That's a long throw right there by Velasquez to hit that out. That was a nice 10-yard out right there.
That is a really good throw and catch right there because those aren't easy routes to catch where your eyes are and as the receiver. And, you know, those are things that they just work day in and day out over there at CC on those route runnings.
Well, they snapped the ball from the near hash, and that was clear over on the far sideline. And, yeah, I was a tight end as well, and yeah, that's you're running away from the ball. That throw, that's a nice throw for a high school player to make.
It really is.
So first down, Lafayette Catholic on the 27-yard line. Velasquez with a little short dump and a good tackle that time. Gregorich with the tackle. Look at that, Gregorich. I got it. I got it down.
You got it down. That's good.
3 quarters later,
you know, because you don't live here. You're not going to get yelled at. I'm the one that's going to get yelled at.
Who's that Jack? Whatever that was on the air with you. That's what they're going to ask you.
Oh no,
not me.
No.
They're going to ask you that.
No, they're real nice here. They won't do anything. I told them to welcome you guys with open arms, you know, and.
Velasquez back to throw once again. He's got a guy over the middle, and it's going to be completed. And big tackle right there at about the 6-yard or 11-yard line.
Nate Johnson on the stop.
That was Hudson there, the 6-foot senior for LCC, with the big reception there for the Knights. Got a conference. I didn't see a flag. Yeah. Pass interference on the offense.
Don't see it a lot in high school football.
No, you don't. So that's going to move the Knights way back. See where they called the penalty at. That's a 10-yard, I think, from the spot of the foul. Is that how they call that one?
Well, there's some people that are saying that possibly, since we've had 2 home games in a row, that we would be away next week. So there may be some people out there that are.
They may be
I
right.
thought it would be odd if we played another home game.
They may be right, but also LaVille has had 2 home games too.
I don't.
And so
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, it could be here or it could be at LaVille.
We'll have to ask Coach Barry.
They will have a game next week. How's that?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll take it. We'll take that.
Yeah. You know, LaVille is a team obviously in the same conference with the Panthers now. Since they formed the new Hoosier North Conference a couple years ago. Nice pass right there. He's got the guy wide open and a big fumble.
They're going to call that a complete pass.
Complete pass with the down.
Yeah, I guess so.
Knee down.
You know, this late in the game, and as a coach, you don't fight it. You're just whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, the whole thing with what it's a catch and what isn't a catch, you know, that's pretty prevalent in the NFL.
Right.
But I think he had a couple of steps in clearly before he went to the ground. And
yeah,
I think it was a fumble caused by the ground if I'm not, seeing things wrong. So we got a timeout here by Pioneer. We're going to take a break and be back here in just a moment. You're watching RTC4.com and Channel 4 in Rochester.
Are you in pain from an injury or arthritis? What if there was a place that could meet all of your orthopedic needs? A place with some of the best orthopedic doctors and staff in the Midwest. A place where you're treated as a person instead of a patient. What if that place weren't in Chicago or Indianapolis? There is such a place. Rochester Orthopedics, your regional orthopedic specialist. When you're looking for comfort and relief, remember, trust the board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeons at Rochester Orthopedics.
All right, the Panthers took a timeout, so they're moving back out onto the field. It's a 1st and goal for Lafayette Catholic from the 10-yard line. Pioneer leads 48-14, 6:49 left to go here in the ball game. The winner moves on to take on LaVille Lancers next week. We're not sure where at yet, but looks like it'll be Pioneer and LaVille in a regular season rematch.
That's a really nice catch.
Yeah, did he get his foot in?
Yeah.
Touchdown for Lafayette Catholic.
Actually, good defense there, too. I'm not going to say that was bad defense. That was good defense and a nice catch, getting a foot in there. And it really was a nice passing catch there. Just sometimes an athlete can jump and they make a nice play. So that was a good play there by CC.
A catch by Schwartz brings it to a 48-20, pending the extra point.
Some local people wanted me to check Lewis Cass. That's the other local team here.
So the extra point is no good. So our score is 48-20 with 6:42 left to go in the game. We'll take a break here. We'll be back in just a moment.
At First Federal Savings Bank, we can help you remodel your home, consolidate debt, or even provide some spending cash for you with our home equity line of credit.
Our standard home equity line of credit allows borrowers to draw funds for up to 10 years and comes with no closing costs for qualified customers.
Take advantage of this great opportunity. Contact one of our experienced mortgage lenders or apply online at firstfederalbanking.com.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
In the fourth.
All right, welcome back here with 6:42 left to go in this one. It's a 48-20 Pioneer Panther lead, and you got an update. Lewis Cass down
21-7. Eastbrook was a team that went to the state title last year, and they're a good option team. They've done really well in the last few years, well coached. And then, Laville, Sectional 41 winners, 10-7. So Pioneer, unless some freak accident, Pioneer's going to be playing Laville here for a regional.
And there's an onside kick, and it's going to be hit. Mersch gets it, and he's going to be down right at about the 44-yard line at LCC. That was almost a little bit of trouble there for the Panthers. There was two of them going up in the air. It looked like a, in a baseball play when there's two outfielders going for the ball, they hit, boom, ball goes down, Lafayette gets it. But Mersch was able to corral it.
What's going on here?
Switching balls, maybe?
Maybe.
All right.
I don't know what's going on there.
All right. I don't know. Had the wrong ball out there. Apparently, did they have kicking balls in high school?
You're not supposed to change the football. Coaches used to try that trick. You get an old football that you can kick really far, but it's supposedly not cool to do that anymore, legal, and then switch the ball out. But so.
All right, the Panthers need about a 5-minute drive right here to put the nail, so to speak, in the coffin of the Knights with 6:40 left to go.
A timeout. I think we're missing a player. Yeah, because, when you get towards the end of the game, you got kids you're kind of shuffling in, and, sometimes. Hey, I coached junior high football for about 10 years, and sometimes it's a disaster, and it's a timeout, and it's a butt ripping, and you're on special teams, you're on field goal, you're on, kickoff, and kids are just kind of waving to their girlfriend and,
yeah,
talking to their mom and dad, and you're like, no, get over here. So, I guess the thing that drove me nuts, and you've coached basketball, is the mom and dad's coming down and bringing the Gatorades. Coming down during the game. Stuff like that just drives me crazy.
I don't know. I haven't really had that experience, I guess.
In basketball, not football, but
yeah. Well, they might be doing that because our gym for the elementary, they're right behind me. I don't like that part of it. But,
yeah.
All right, so we're going to go 1st and 10, 6:40 left. Kaiser hands off Llewellyn going up to the left side. He gets hit hard, but he's able to break free and move ahead. He's going to be down at the 48 of LCC. And looks like he's going to have about 2 yards now. 2nd and about 2, maybe 3.
Just the buck sweep play, 9:29 buck sweep to the boundary. They traded the tight end to kind of give them a little bit of a numbers advantage. And, Jack's still playing out there. They still got him out there. They still feel like they probably need to get – there's never a big enough cushion with CC. I'm going to tell you that.
Right.
You're never completely comfortable. And also, Jack didn't play a lot last week. Number 4, Jack Kaiser for the Panthers. He didn't play a lot because
there's a big run over the right side. That's number 14, Von Tobel for Pioneer, and he's going to get ahead for a Pioneer first down.
I like the way that Miles is running the ball. I haven't seen him run the ball a lot this year, but he's physical. He's knocking people to the ground.
Yeah.
He's doing the things that these hard runners do, and it's really good to see, because usually you try to have kind of a nice, we call it kind of cross-training players that can play the fullback position, the halfback position, the quarterback position, and that's the wing T philosophy. They call it a racehorse philosophy. They practice really hard doing your steps, your drills, your shoulder skills, and things like that, and then you can cross-train your backs to be able to run in any spot. It's kind of a nice deal.
All right, so we got a timeout on the field with 5:09 left to go. Pioneer's going to take a timeout. We'll take a break and be right back.
Townhome Furnishings in Rochester is the place to shop for all of your furniture needs. Sofas, recliners, love seats, dining sets, bedroom sets. Townhome Furnishings in Townhome Furnishings in Rochester is the place to shop for all of your furniture needs. Sofas, recliners, love seats, dining sets, bedroom sets, mattresses, outdoor furniture, and more. All in your hometown. Stop out and see Don, Mary Kay, Linda, or Joe. They want to help you find the exact pieces to fit your needs. Shop online at townhomefurnishings.com.
Hometown service, down home style, Town Home Furnishings.
Hey, for all those of you guys watching at home, that's my new advertising. We just put the ad up in the upper corner and let it go. But no, we have fun here. We don't always have everything quite perfect, but we do the best we can. I've really enjoyed being here tonight, Casey. It's been a fun evening here. I love the atmosphere here at the pit at Pioneer High School, and it's been a great game for the Panthers, leading 48-20. You know, and
yeah, this is kind of just what we needed. You know, last week was North White, and they've struggled this year. They haven't won a lot of games, and kind of a new coach, new system. You know, that may take a year or two to get going, and it's always a test. CC has just always been a test, and it's they're just so well coached and well. You know, they're well trained athletes. They're just.
Kaiser pulls it back out. That was kind of a busted play, I think, right there. Mersch and Kaiser kind of got tied up. He wanted to pull it out. I don't know if Mersch was just holding on to it more than Jack wanted or what, but Jack just kind of let it go and goes for a little bit of a loss right there. Going to bring up 3rd and 5. And Llewellyn's going to check back in. One Llewellyn in, one Llewellyn out, actually.
Yeah. Boy, these boys have been something special ever since youth football, and people have just been really enjoying, and they've been excited about them coming to high school and playing football.
And there's Llewellyn going around the left on the sweep again, and he's going to get taken down at about the 28-yard line of Lafayette Catholic, and that's going to be a first down for the Panthers.
That's a good jet sweep play there. You know, you just – whenever you cut it inside, okay, the goal on the way that the coaching kind of tip or point on that play is you go for numbers, or you go hash numbers sideline, right? So whenever you cut it inside, you're going to have pursuit coming in, and they're going to give a nice pop on him, and they gave him a nice little pop there. But he's running the ball hard. I like seeing them use that jet sweep.
Really? I could see I had to call it.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Kaiser, they're doing another little sweep. And that's going to be a die Llewellyn on the carry right there.
I'm not sure this is a game where you need the clock out. I mean, this has been a game. I mean, I think Pioneer's going to keep, you know, scoring. I mean, getting their younger guys some reps. You got to see a couple of younger guys coming in, and it's just, you know, it's been a great rivalry. When I was in school here, it was Winnemac. That was the big rivalry, and you know, CC has kind of turned into and it's Winnemac still a rival here. It's a big rival in this town and in Logansport and the Cass County schools. But Winnemac and CC have turned in some really good rivals for Pioneer.
So I just want to mention number 7, Noah Pearson checks in. I'm good friends with his dad, Jeremy, so I just wanted to give him a shout out.
Jeremy, well, I'm going to talk really good about Jeremy's wife because Rochelle has been incredible, and we started the Pioneer Football Hall of Fame, and I said, if I do this, you're coming with me because she's on my committee, and she's like, you know, she's been so helpful. We put on a great ceremony in August, and I was really thankful for all the Pioneer faithful that came to that. We had over 100 people and a comedian from Indianapolis come and did inductions, and she just makes everything run really smooth and nice. And she thinks my crazy ideas aren't so crazy, which kind of makes me feel better sometimes. So.
Pioneer fumbles the ball. And Lafayette Catholic does recover it. They're going to start out on the 24-yard line of the Pioneer Panthers with 1:20 left to go. It's going to be a lot of subs coming in here for the Panthers on defense. You can see a lot of young faces from the Pioneer sideline going in. And Panthers are going to just run out the clock here with 1:20 left to go.
Yeah, CC coming out. Looks like some of the younger players might be playing, and you know they're still gonna take shots. You know they're still gonna play to the last whistle and last horn on the scoreboard.
Well, you know, there's a lot of pride over there on LCC side of things as well. You know, Velasquez is a senior, and you know,
I think he could probably play somewhere small college if he wants to. You know, pursue I don't know what other sports he plays, but he throws the ball. He throws a really nice ball.
He does throw a nice ball, and
he's a pretty tall. He's 6 foot 150. I don't know if he looks 150 to me, but he really does throw the ball well.
He looks a little bigger than 150, I guess, but there's a nice play over the middle and a good catch and run that time by Schwartz. And it's going to be a Catholic first down with 42.3 left to go.
Is that inbounds? Looks like went out of bounds maybe, or we got an injury timeout or something.
Looks like there is a LCC player down on the far sideline. Was that Schwartz who caught the pass, or is that somebody else? Is it Schwartz?
Sure. Who'd you have catching that? Schwartz?
Schwartz. It looks, and they're saying he's down on the far side.
Well, he's 6'2", 160. He's a big boy.
All right, so while they attend to the injured player over on the sideline, we're going to take a break and be back here in just a minute.
Hey everybody, I got exciting news. Country Lanes has a new state-of-the-art scoring system.
Come out, let your kids be mesmerized by the animated backgrounds. Take a safari trip to Jungle Jive or an outer space adventure in Cosmic Crush. Themes like the Kecklers or High Seas will entertain your little ones for hours. Choose extreme sports or click on Ninja Strike for martial arts. This high-spirited atmosphere is way cheaper than Cedar Point. Come out and visit Country Lanes for all your bowling fun.
All right, we're down to 40 seconds. Clock's running here. Lafayette Catholic running out of time here for the 2017 football season. The Pioneer Panthers are going to be your sectional champions, and they're going to be playing the LaVille Lancers for the second time this season. We're not 100%.
Wow, they're going quick huddle. Wow, trying to get
a little bit late for that at this point. Velasquez is going to get sacked.
Yeah.
About a 3-yard loss right there by Gregorich.
I can't believe they just called a timeout. I really am I can't.
Well, you never know. They might have a 28-point play in the bag.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So Pioneer's going to move on to win their sectional once again, and they're going to face LaVille, one-game regional.
Let's go tell the White Hat to make it a quick timeout, like a 30-second timeout like you basketball guys have, you know.
They don't have that?
Not in football.
Really? So they're all the
No.
same? Okay.
Yeah, they just got 3 per half.
Yeah. They're all 60-second timeouts?
Yeah.
Okay. See, when you're watching games on TV, it's really hard to tell how long they are, and of course that's pro football anyway. So
yeah.
I do want to. I mean, this is great. I love it. I love the atmosphere. I've said it a couple times now, but I just can't get over the atmosphere here. Thanks for having us come down here, and it's been great.
I get, I really. I'm really glad that you guys made the trip. I know we got a lot of viewers. I've been getting text messages and Facebook messages and posts on the site. It was a lot of fun this year. We did a 20-year reunion of our '97 team state title, and we did the Hall of Fame. And there's just a lot of community spirit behind this team. And win or lose, I think everybody in this town loves these kids, and everybody that's been a part of it.
All right, so probably the last play of the game, 6.9 seconds left. Lasquez is going to get sacked. Big-time tackle right there by Von Tobel, and that's going to do it for the game. Final score, Pioneer 48, Lafayette Central 20. Panthers are going to go to 12-0 on the season, and Lafayette Catholic is going to end their season with a 4-8 mark. And Pioneer is going to advance, take on the LaVille Lancers, who won earlier tonight over Triton. The LaVille Pioneer game is going to be either at LaVille or Pioneer. We don't know just yet. I think, if I read it right, it will be here, but don't quote me on that. Don't hold me to that. But
I thought it was nice that they're throwing fireworks out over there. That's Henry's Field. It's that's a soft spot in my heart. Practiced a lot of baseball over there, and great family that I grew up with and played football with them, and it's always fun to beat CC. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
Especially last year, you had the nail biter 1-point game. Came down to one play basically. Jack Kaiser running it down their throat with 1 yard basically to go and the clock running out, and this year was kind of a nice feeling to beat them by 28 points, especially the last few years. I mean, these last 2 years have been incredible because we beat them. The years before, you go over there and we just haven't had the players to be able to match up with them. And so this was a nice win.
Yeah, I've paid, like I said earlier, I've paid a lot of attention to Pioneer football from afar over the years, and talking to Grant and Jeremy and those guys, just how things are going and stuff, and
and those are guys that were here in the '90s, and they were horses. I mean, Grant and Jeremy are, and they didn't have the success on the team that some of the other teams have had, but they were a big part of it in the '90s, kind of turning this program around too.
Yeah, they were kind of the foundation that built the program. Tom Shaw, another guy that he was on that team that we played against, and
Tom's son is if you look at some of the best tight ends, blocking tight ends at Pioneer history. You'd say Tyler Shaw has been one of the best tight ends and defensive ends to play here, put on a Panther uniform. This is kind of something they've been doing lately. They do a prayer after the game, and Ryan Llewellyn is a minister, and so he's been doing those things, and it's it's a good thing. I think that this community is kind of rallied around with the Triton death. The student, that was kind of a shocker, and then they played that on a Thursday night, which was kind of odd.
Yeah.
Because they had the viewing on a Friday night for that young man, and that was a sad situation. But I thought Triton was very, it was on the South Bend News. I watched it up there, and that they were really appreciative of what Pioneer did for them.
Yeah,
and the sportsmanship is a good thing to see, because
Right.
this is a tough, emotional game.
Right. Yeah, that Triton thing, that hit really close to home for me. My sister is a longtime English teacher at Triton.
Yeah.
And, she had the, Cam Scarberry, the one who passed, was a student of hers when he was in junior high. And then his little brother that was in the car with him was also a current student, I believe, of hers.
Well,
So,
I teach. I've been teaching driver's training for the last 10 years, and it was more distraction now than ever in the car.
Oh, yeah.
I try to tell kids that too.
Yeah.
Kids get bored easily and they grab the phone or they grab things, and used to be CDs for me. Now people would laugh at me because I still use CDs. But good game for the Panthers. It's great to see them finish this sectional 42 championship.
No, you keep it. I'm gonna let you talk to Scott here for a little bit. Scott Sager, he's the production manager over at RTC, and he's been running the camera for us tonight. And just wanted to let him talk to you here for a few.
Well, hey, thanks. Great job tonight, Steve Stricker out of Argus. He's a lot of you Rochester folks haven't heard him very much, but we're happy to have him. And, of course, Casey Hines, who reached out to me earlier this year. He did a lot with Walton Webcasting when they were doing that, Caston, Pioneer, Lewis Cast, a lot of those games. We got invited down by Casey to come down and do this game tonight. We were happy to do it. First of all, they're black and gold, or at least black and yellow, which is close enough to Rochester's colors, so I felt at home.
Well, I interviewed for that football job this summer at Rochester.
Did you really?
I got number 2.
Oh, no.
Brian's a good guy.
He is.
Brian, he's been around, and I understood why they went with Brian. And, he had a successful season there. I thought he did a nice job with them.
Yeah, he really did. The guys turned around. I think what were we, 7-3? I think this year.
After last year,
0-10 last year. My son is a junior this year, so he was on the team both years. He was, his comment to me, Casey, was that he enjoyed winning a couple of games.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But Brian did a nice job here, and what a great thing you guys are doing down here at Pioneer. I had a lot of people tell me coming down before we came down that this was just the Kaiser show. And I'll tell you what, this was a team effort tonight. It was the blocking up front, quite frankly, that freed up Kaiser.
Well, when you had 2 linemen get kind of injured, I didn't mention Coach Barry had a baby 2 days ago. His wife had a baby 2 days ago.
Congratulations,
another boy.
Coach. Yeah,
he had three boys, and it's. You've been around the game long enough. You know that it's kind of a challenge on the wives and the coaches to balance all that act. And I think Coach Barry was willing. Said he was going to come up here if you want to do the interview with him.
Oh no, I'll let you do that for sure.
Okay.
We'll keep it here and let you do that interview with him, and then we'll close it out here. Again, want to thank our folks up in Rochester for watching. I know we had some folks down in Texas watching. Want to thank you for tuning in, folks all over the country. Actually, we're happy to do that for you here on RTC4.com. Hey, keep tuned. One of these days, very soon, we're going to release our Roku channel, so you'll be able to watch it on your TV sets anywhere you go. So keep your eyes open for that. But in the meantime, I'll just kind of hand it back over to you, Casey, as I start to break down a little bit of the gear so that we can head back to our Rochester place.
All
okay?
right. Well, we appreciate it again. A lot of people were missing the Walton Web this year, and it was nice for you guys to come down, and appreciate everything you guys have done. And I was shocked you got a signal. But good win for Coach Barry. He's second year at the helm, and he's done a tremendous job. I mean, he's got an amazing winning percentage. He's got a great coaching staff, and like Scott said and Steve said, this is not a one-man show. Jack Kaiser's a big contributor to this, but they play team defense, they play team offense, and they've come down and played a really good Central Catholic team that didn't necessarily have the best record. They come in at 4-7. They'll end up 4-8. But it's always fun to see a Pioneer team come in and play their tails off all the time. And Coach Barry, and I know the coaching staff really well, and I've been, Coach Barry was on my Hall of Fame committee this spring and summer, and we put a lot of kids in a lot of people that have been a big part of this program in the Hall of Fame, and just a lot of fun to see a 28-point win. Who would have thought that Pioneer would have been able to. Even last year was such a battle against CC. But I think the direction this program's going, it really hasn't lost a beat, hasn't skipped a beat with Coach Berry, going from Coach Johnson to Coach Berry. And one of the big things, and I don't know if people know this, is how impactful to have good assistants in the program. And they're Pioneer guys. I mean, a lot of them have been here for years, and they've got so much better at coaching technique and drills and things like that. So I don't know if we're going to get Coach Berry. So
well, we're going to. I appreciate it, Casey. We're going to go ahead and run a couple more commercials here, and then we'll make a decision here on whether or not we're going to get Coach, and we'll go from there. Okay.
All righty.
Hey, football fans, Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester will give you $500 off any vehicle on their lot just for saying you saw the game here on RTC TV4. $500 off any vehicle on the lot just for seeing your team take home the sectional trophy. Drive a little, save a lot at Shepherd Chevrolet Buick in Rochester, where they treat you like family. Check out their inventory online at shepherdsrochester.com. Simplify your banking with a Simply Free checking account from First Federal Savings Bank.
All it takes is a $50 opening deposit. There's no minimum balance requirement and no service fees.
For a limited time, you'll also receive a free gift just for opening a checking account.
And with instant issue, we can give you a debit card when you open your account, giving you immediate access to your funds.
Simply Free checking from First Federal Savings Bank, a simpler way to bank.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
All right, Coach Berry's up here with us in the press box, and what an incredible win. Sectional 42 champions for the Panthers. What did you like that you saw on the field tonight, Coach?
We didn't stop playing. We knew it was going to be hard to eliminate their offense overall. We knew they were going to get some plays. We told the guys before the game, hey, not everything's going to go our way, but make sure you're staying positive, make sure you're staying upbeat, and you guys will make plays. So, we gave up some big plays. We have two freshmen out there at corners, and they grew up a little bit tonight. So,
well, absolutely. I thought, that you maybe saw something where you like to run to the boundary a little bit. I saw you hitting the boundaries pretty hard. And the other kid I felt like in the second half that really came to play was Nate Johnson. I thought he stepped up tonight.
You are right, offensively and defensively. And, he's not our biggest lineman, tight end, but, we consider our tight ends a lineman. And he's really one of our better linemen. And, he's been out there. He's been in some big games, so we trust him a lot.
Are you healthy after tonight's game tonight? I know you're going to get LaVille. I don't know. Is that going to be here?
At LaVille.
At LaVille. We're going to. It's going to be at LaVille. You feel healthy, comfortable with your team after tonight?
Nick Rogers went down. We're not exactly sure what he did. Connor Walker went down early on, and he feels like he's fine, but he's kind of like Jack. He's going to tell you he's fine no matter what. So we have to evaluate some guys to see exactly where we are.
Well, we want to congratulate you on your second sectional title as a second-year coach, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching you guys throughout the tournament. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, we're going to finish up here, wrap up the broadcast. We want to thank all our viewers for watching tonight. A lot of fun getting these guys to come down, and we'll be able to wrap it up. Pioneer wins 48-20, wins a sectional 42 title. Congratulations to Pioneer and the Pioneer Panther community.
Absolutely. Well, a great job, Casey. Thank you so much. We're going to end it here from Royal Center, Pioneers Pit. Enjoyed ourselves. We'll see you next time here on RTC TV4.